Hello, everyone, and welcome back. It's D&D with Naked and Pals. We're playing Dungeons & Dragons 5th Edition, specifically Waterdeep Dragonheist. And to recap, last time, Dotagor and Dopey both made their way back to Trollskull Tavern in time to find their friends enjoying breakfast, bacon and eggs, or in Shul's case, a bunch of raw eggs. Weird, but not unexpected. You guys kind of tidied up the manor a little bit, and finally, Melanor Fellbranch of the Enclave, but also a private potential investor in the tavern, or at least maybe, arrives for his business meeting. As he enters and introductions begin, Kaz, unfortunately, once again, has made something smell or taste like shit. In this case, Dopey smelled like shit. Being apprehensive at the sudden smell of filth, Melanor quickly retreated away from the tavern and went back to the Enclave to just to avoid the shit smell. Following that, there's a bit of kind of an argument amongst the party members themselves as they resolve their differences. Sarantis and Shul both depart for the Enclave to hopefully recapture Melanor's interest in the tavern, and Gwen makes some lunch, and Dotagor and Dopey's meeting at the opera in the late evening is approaching, and as that comes up, they get dressed in their finery, and they head off to meet Matt in the Waterdavian Opera House, where they are showing The Fall of Tiamat. After their meeting, they are kind of given a quick mission to prove themselves to the faction known as the Harpers. Now, the Harpers are kind of a clandestine operation trying to keep tabs on evil going on in the city and to help police things a little bit, if not a little secretly. From there, they go, and their mission is to find a talking horse. And after a couple hours of searching the city, they do find her. And the reason they're trying to find her is because she has intelligence on Zentarum members that have been making their way around the city. And of course, there's been numerous clashes between the Xanathar Guild and the Zentarum agents that have basically streaked the city streets with blood. So the Harpers are obviously wanting to quell that bloodlust and put an end to that fighting. She tells the party members that they have found, or that she gave a ride to a Sun Elf male and a half-orc female and dropped them off outside of the Yawning Portal. They take that information back to Mert, and he rewards them with 1 renown with the Harpers and commends them on a job well done. From there, they returned back to the tavern. While they were doing their mission, Melanor and Sarantis and Shul and Kaz even all kind of made amends and wrote up and drafted the paperwork for his potential investment of 1,200 dragons into the tavern for a 10% share in Trollskull Manor. He tells them to go back to the tavern and wait for him, and he will be by shortly with both the dragons and the paperwork. And after another quick meeting between him, Sarantis, and Margaret, they sign all the paperwork, and it's done. He gets a tour, but as both Dotagor and Dopey are approaching the tavern, and Sarantis is giving Melanor a tour, they hear a shriek from the basement, and rats gush from the small portcullis that leads to the basement throughout the tavern, and it's an overwhelming number of swarms of rats that are attacking the tavern. But thankfully, thanks to the intervention by both Eugene the Tavern Cat, Lif the Poltergeist, the Druid Melanor, the members of Eugene and the Stoners are able to quell the rat invasion and send most of them running while also murdering most of them. We left off that evening with everybody pretty much heading to bed. You guys had your mini RPs throughout the week where you guys kind of accomplished a couple of things and moved on. And we are going to pick up the morning after the swarm of rats attack. And if you guys want to, we're just going to start from there. You guys go ahead and tell me what you want to do.
So, Dopey's gonna switch out of his fine clothes back into his armor. Same here. I'm gonna keep the cape on though, because you boys are pimp.
Very well.
Well, I think it's pretty obvious, as swarms of rats don't just appear that way out of nowhere, that clearly somebody's been screwing with us. And I've actually heard from a beggar that says, or that told me that there's quite a bit of ill will towards us from somebody. And then before that, even, I followed Emic Froon and saw him doing some shady deals. And for those of you who don't remember, that is the owner of the tavern around the corner that came in and talked mad shit to Dopey and myself.
So we burn it down.
I'm not opposed. Not opposed. But I don't know if that'll just solve our issues, because random buildings burning down doesn't tend to solve problems. He's still going to come after us, so we need to figure out how to, first off, we need to be able to prove that we are in the right.
Not to mention that arson's generally frowned upon by the City Watch.
Generally.
Generally.
I'm pretty sneaky. I could probably do it without being seen. I'm just saying.
Everything is legal unless you get caught doing it.
All right, what I'd like is for everybody to go ahead and roll initiative.
Oh no.
11.
It's not horrifying. It's for who wakes up first.
I forgot to sign in. I forget what my initiative is.
Wow.
As your initiative is
It's probably 1 or 2 or 3. Just
D&D first world problems, everyone.
Wow.
Would you like me to tell yours? Because I added everybody's character sheet to the GM notes on there.
I also have everybody's character sheet open.
It's probably a good idea.
Let's see.
I
I just have your actions. I don't have all your character sheets yet.
I got a 15.
Okay.
19.
That's all of you right now, right? There's only 4.
Word, you boys sleeping in.
Yeah,
so
sure.
Wes and Kaz, or Sarantis and Kaz, you guys are the first 2 to wake up. Go ahead and make perception checks for me.
Okay. P plus 5. 16.
17.
So, what you guys notice is the lack of smell in the tavern. Over the past 10 days or so since you hired Gwendolyn, you guys have become quite accustomed to waking up to the smell of just a wonderful something or other being cooked up for breakfast downstairs.
Well, I'm going to make my way down there.
Okay.
Is Eugene in there? Is he in the tavern when I come downstairs?
Eugene is sleeping in a perfectly shaped patch of sunshine on his favorite table next to his favorite window.
I walk over and I give him a nice little pet.
He takes his head and he head-butts your hand as you reach down and just really loves the scritches.
And then I come over to the bar and, Gwendolyn, are you here this morning?
Oh, yes, sir. And she peeks her head kind of around the corner of the door to the pantry and kitchen area, and she's looking a bit disheveled. Normally her hair's pulled back into a ponytail, but now she's got hair kind of just in her face, She's looking a bit more flustered than normal. And she says, "I'm terribly sorry, sir. After last night, frankly, I overslept. I had a terrible time sleeping in that drafty old room, not to mention I kept hearing sounds like scratches that would terrify me awake."
Well, then how much sleep did you end up getting then?
Not having heard the bells of the clock in Waterdeep, I couldn't tell you to be sure, but not much.
Well, you are going to do no good to us tired, and you're no good to yourself tired. Go sleep in my bed.
Oh, sir, I don't think I could possibly sleep in your bed, considering you don't have a bed.
Well, I guess
Yeah,
if
you
I
sleep in an armchair, curled up.
She
like a
can.
snake.
up
You can
like a
sleep in my bed.
snake. I'm
Well-
a snake.
Sir, sirs, to be terribly honest, we have our own beds at home.
Then
If
go home.
you have no need of us, we could probably use a day off.
Yes, go home, take the day off.
So she breathes a heavy sigh of relief before making her way to the stairs and heading up to the rooms where the boys and her mom are hanging out, and they all kind of make their way back downstairs and head out. But before thanking you guys for the day off.
Before she leaves, and I tell her, and because you have worked so hard for us, and this is on me, and I take out 5 gold out of my coin purse. I still have 34 left, and make sure to get yourselves a nice dinner, a nice lunch, and we'll possibly just go have some fun today with the boys.
She, go ahead and roll a persuasion check.
Okay. Persuasion plus 4. 21.
She's gonna think she's a charity case, and she's gonna fucking hate you.
At first, she's apprehensive at taking even more of your gold, but she sees the earnest look in your eye and thinks about last night and how much of a terrible time. And she kind of thinks to herself, "It's like, oh, hazard pay. Okay, fair enough." And she says, "Oh, well, thank you, sir. It is much appreciated, and I guarantee you, after a day or two of relaxation, we will be back well rested and ready to work even harder."
I'm sure you will. Again, go enjoy the day.
And they depart.
I guess I'm gonna go back in here into the kitchen myself and attempt to cook my own eggs and bacon. Kaz, do you want anything?
Maybe I'll come back and try and see if I can help out.
Okay.
That might be.
I don't
It's
know
probably
what
for
role.
the best.
So you guys,
Would I be awake by now?
It's probably
yeah,
performance.
you and Dotagor can kind of make your way downstairs now.
Yeet.
So,
All right.
Into
I'll be
the
over here then.
same- You're outside.
Accidentally
So-
slipped into my homie over here.
Joe's gonna come down and he's gonna see Serantis and Kaz attempting to make food, and he's gonna go down there and just kick him out of the kitchen, saying he'll do it.
Make opposed persuasion checks for if
Nope.
Serantis and Kaz are super into making food right now.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah. I'm pretty sure Serantis isn't about to fight a halfling on what
I-
tastes good.
Very well. Feel free.
I guess Kaz, you can help me if you want.
I mean, he can make water.
Don't
Yeah.
make anything taste like shit, and we'll be fine.
Nah,
He could
this is
actually
an
just make anything taste good.
Yeah, we'd just be eating literal, like, just MRE meat patties,
It's like-
and it would taste like the finest steak dinner you've ever had.
He could make literal charred bacon, like just the blackest, burntest bacon, taste like ambrosia. Like
Yeah, like the whole, like cooked so much.
use
that
your
that it's like
powers
the size
for
of a
good,
fingernail.
please.
Nope.
Well, yeah, that was my plan. This was gonna be an apology breakfast for.
Nope.
Breakfast.
Shit
All of
for
that.
everyone.
Everybody gets the doo-doo.
Hell yeah, bro.
Wonderful. Okay. So, Dopey and Kaz, you guys are in the kitchen. Go ahead and roll perception checks for me.
I'm going over to Eugene.
Okay. Eugene's chilling.
Hell yeah.
Okay, so you guys are looking for
Oh,
some
no.
ingredients, and you're not too familiar with Gwendolyn's organization methods. You rummage through the pantry, and you do manage to find about half a dozen eggs, some like a stale half loaf of bread, and you do find salt and a barrel of salted fish.
Do I find any flour?
No.
So
Not
you
with
found
a
salt
6 perception.
and salted fish.
Oh, I'm sorry. You also find sugar.
I feel like that's just kind of a fuck
and
you
all
to
the other
Doc.
fun white powders.
Do I have flour? No, but you have sugar.
I could probably make French toast. Be a modified version, but
Are either of you proficient in cooking?
I don't
I don't
think,
think that's
I
a
don't
skill.
even think that's a thing.
He's
but
proficient in being a halfling.
There is custom. There is a custom and yeah, halflings are fat.
It's true.
It's called dummy thick, Wes. Get it right.
Jesus.
Okay,
fighting my
no.
friend.
No, that chicken tendy is dummy thick.
Which, by the way, when was the last time you've refreshed that thing? I think it's been a few days since
It's been
had
at least a
purified.
session.
Kaz, roll me another perception check.
Oh boy.
Oh God.
You're about to have a bad yeast infection, my friend. That breading is about to do a number on your insides, let me tell you.
21.
Oh man, you smell it. You smell.
Oh no.
Yeah, you
It's
do.
not rancid. It's not as bad as the sewers, right? But
I
something. Hold on.
flavor
hold
it
on,
to smell
hold
like
on,
vanilla.
Hold on. Before you do it, you have to know exactly what it smells like.
You have to know what you're suffering through.
If you've ever just taken like those oven/microwave chicken tendies out of the freezer and then forgot to actually microwave or cook them, and they've just sat on the side for a day, you just smell that stale-ish, almost mildewy chicken tender smell. That's what's going on in and around Dopey's pants right now.
Just like Mama used to make.
Now, for the cooking, I'd like you each to make, or one of you can help the other to make a, to give an advantage. I want you both to make intelligence checks. Are you
Doc
smart
said
enough?
he knew how to make the French toast, so I'll try and help him out with that
Okay.
if he wants to roll for it.
You said intelligence?
He's gonna make
I sure did.
he's gonna make you beat his eggs as an apology.
17.
17 will do it. Doc, you mix the eggs and the sugar together, and you're able to kind of get this, I don't know, battery thing, and you start slicing the loaves, and then you're just like, wait, I can't really reach the counter. Kaz, can you slice the loaves? And he slices the bread for you. You stoke the fire a little bit, Kaz, and together, both of you guys make enough French toast to feed the four of you.
Yeah, because fuck Shul.
I guess Shul wants to be sick again.
No, he's just gonna
Oh,
eat all
yeah.
the raw eggs left.
There's
Now,
none left. I used all of them.
For Shul,
He gets
Nick,
the shells then.
you
I
also
mean, I don't know.
have
What
control
do snake people eat?
over his character now, just so you know.
Oh, I
Yeah,
do?
Yeah.
Word. I do not have the
Just gave it
ability
to
to fondle him.
Nor do I.
Nope.
Huh. Oh, it didn't save changes, that's all. There you go.
Cool. This is my pet snake. His name is Shul.
Alright. Dopey brings out the tray, holding above his head, slides it onto the counter.
Okay.
I
Oh,
can't.
thanks, dude.
I can't say that I trust Kaz to have made this.
So who's
know,
going to be
fair
the
enough.
first victim trying this French toast?
Oh, I
Yeah,
definitely will.
but see, Dopey wouldn't immediately piss all of us off in the morning. He would just rob us while we're sleeping. It's different. It's
I'll only
different.
rob you if you throw up all over my room. That's the only time I'm gonna rob you.
All right, that's fair.
I'll
allow
take.
it.
I'll take
I'll
the
allow
first bite. I'll take the first bite.
Okay, so you're going to take the first bite.
Yeah.
Kaz, question.
Yes.
Did you magically enhance this French toast in any way?
So I know that we had sugar and egg, so I probably would have done like a hint of vanilla or like something to kind of like
Gonna put some of that scissor on it.
something
I was about
good.
to say,
Yeah,
do you
like
want to make
maple
it a little
syrup.
mapley, maybe some cinnamon?
Yeah,
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 NyQuil
like
flavored.
cinnamon, vanilla, maple.
So right before Dopey
good-
carries
all
the
that good
platter out, Kaz just kind of puts a gentle hand on his shoulder and he's like, "Hold up, homie."
And then he
does
does that
magic
he does
fingers, and
Oh,
Dopey.
dude. He's doing the salt thing, but with magic.
You see Kaz do the same thing he did to your porridge to make it taste like shit.
So how do you feel about that?
I'm gonna let Wes be the first one to taste it.
Fair enough.
Do I see him do this or no?
No,
Goes in the
it's right
kitchen.
before he came out of the kitchen.
All right, I unhinge my jaw and take this just a whole piece of it.
Okay.
Dopey stares in abject horror.
Serantis.
God, that is the most unsettling way to watch somebody eat breakfast.
We had to have Yantis, right? So, Serantis, you are you're separated into two selves in this moment. One of you is the current existing Serantis, an adult, an adventurer, and the other is a small child, hearkening back to your first experience with French toast.
This is
This-
my first experience.
I'm making it not your first experience, you son of a bitch. This reminds you of the first time you found yourself in a human village and a street cart vendor handed you a small sample of French toast. Just like this. And the tears kind of start to well up in your eyes as you remember your mom, you remember your family. You really enjoy this French toast.
Yelling at you not to take things from strange humans.
And boom, you're back in the moment. You're eating this French toast. Now you're kind of sad that you ate the entire portion in one bite.
Well,
Dopey's gonna look at Serantis. You good, bro?
So,
Yeah.
Dopey, roll a perception check for me.
17.
You see small tears welling up in Serantis' eyes.
Oh god.
Yeah, you
it
do.
is horrible. I'm not eating this.
Oh my god, and a snake is crying now? This is the worst
Oh
breakfast.
god. Like if Serantis is crying eating this, there's no way I'm gonna be able to eat this without throwing up everywhere.
Are
Serantis,
you
stop
offended?
crying, because school's gonna start, and then this is gonna be a whole day thing.
I am not offended because I saw Kaz do the magic fingers on it, so like
Seeing as how I don't know, I'm gonna start eating as well.
So, this is your first time trying French toast, and not having
Absolutely.
anything to reference it. It's just a really good breakfast. A little probably sweeter than you would like your breakfast. You're a sweet and savory kind of guy, I get the feel. And this is more wholly on the sweet side. But
Right.
it's a hearty, filling, and, like I said, sweet breakfast.
Dopey, you
I look over to Dopey and let
Dopey,
him
I
know
promise you don't want to
that
eat
is
this.
delicious breakfast.
alright, I'm getting two different things now. I don't know what to believe.
You want to eat it? It made me cry.
Serantis is over here crying.
Serantis over here had a
Godagor
good
is, like,
childhood, so he's
pretty
crying
good.
about it.
I don't know.
Syrup.
If he doesn't eat it, there's more for us.
Oh god.
Dopey, I
Uh,
promise you don't want to eat this.
You should just give it to him.
Dopey's gonna slide his plate over to Serantis. He's like, you got this, bro.
I'd unhinge my jaw again and just shove it down my throat.
Plate and all.
Once again, you are transported. You are once again a child, just indulging in this nostalgic
Christmas
meal.
morning. Just
Dopey, the only reason that you didn't want to eat it is because I did, because it was fantastic. Thank
Dopey's
you.
gonna think to himself, man, this guy's a masochist.
hey Dopey, I don't actually eat very much. So if you want the last piece of French toast on my plate, it's all you. I promise you, dude. This is really good. You should probably have those.
No, it's really bad. You don't want it.
Yeah, okay.
I
Yeah,
guess
trust
I'll
the
try it.
snake when it comes to tasting stuff.
Ooh, all right, Dopey takes the
Shula ate
tiniest
6
bite
eggs
ever,
yesterday raw with the
like
shell on
tiny
it.
compared to a halfling.
So, Dopey, you made this based on your mom's recipe, and while it wasn't perfect, it fills you with a little bit of sadness. You're thinking of your family back in
Dopey starts to
Hobbiton,
cry.
and no, I'm just kidding. And you also start to no, I'm just kidding. But
I cut up a
you
piece and I
are-
try and put it in his mouth, making Eldritch Blast noises.
Watch
Here
out
comes
for the
the
Eldritch
Eldritch.
Blast.
Oh god.
So, you also are reasonably impressed with your first attempt at making French toast since leaving home.
Mom would be proud.
She would be. She would be.
I will be right back. I'm gonna go get my food out of the oven.
Okay, Kaz, would you like to try the French toast?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, 'cause
I
he knows,
grab some
he
after
knows he made it bomb as
after
shit.
everybody else. After everybody else eats, I take what's left.
It tastes like
Nope,
shit.
he's gonna finish his plate.
He actually ruined it. Only the ones you prestidigitated tasted good.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Nope, it tastes fine. It
Karma.
tastes good. It's really yummy. All right, so you guys polish off your breakfast, and
Yeah, polish me off breakfast.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Nobody
But
help
yeah,
him.
no, I think we should, before we actually get all the repairs done on this place, we should probably, get rid of the people who are, or, at least stop the people who are going to trash the joint. Because rats like that don't just show up out of nowhere.
Okay.
And you said you know for sure that it's that other tavern owner?
I saw him doing some shady things, and a beggar a while later told me that there is ill will towards us and the establishment. He swung by and was an absolute prick to Dopey and myself. So I think he's probably the most likely option, because I don't know about you guys, but I'm not known that well in Waterdeep
Very
to
well.
be walking in and suddenly having enemies that are doing stuff like this. So it has to be tied to this place and around the corner,
All right, let's go
the
check
bar
it out
around
then.
far around the way. Sounds like
Let's
a
go.
Before you do that, I want some investigation checks.
Okay.
cool.
From everybody?
Everybody that's proficient in investigation. Otherwise, it's an intelligence check.
Oh. Either way.
13.
18.
Okay.
17.
Nice.
I
Okay.
don't know nothing.
So, you guys take a look around the tavern, specifically walking around the basement and around the rear wall here of the tavern, and you guys, specifically Kaz, you find some strange, like, stone dust or wooden, like, flakes possibly, and then as you kind of inspect closer, you find some holes drilled into the literal wall of Troll Skull Manor.
Thank God it's not a boat.
It's a tugboat.
Are you going to share with the rest
I'm
of the
having,
class?
I'm having terrible flashbacks. Yes. Hey guys, I found some holes in the wall and some weird, like dust.
How big were the holes?
Big
Oh,
enough.
Cat's found dust.
Big enough for a rat? Question mark.
Big enough for a whole bunch of them?
So looking at the
Clearly.
hole and remembering the numerous rats that you guys have kind of encountered, you remember that this hole is approximately the size of one of the rat's heads.
Interesting. It's about the size of a rat's head.
And Wes, you can go ahead and make an intelligence check. You should probably know this. Go ahead and make it with an advantage too.
15 and a 5. So 15.
So you know a little bit, because you're a man of the animal kingdom, that a rat is capable of squeezing into any space that it can fit its head through, similar to how cats can do the same thing.
Oh.
Of course, the snake would know about rats.
He would.
I mean, offhand, Dopey probably knew that too.
Possibly.
All right. Well,
Do you want to share that with the class?
Yeah,
yes, I-
halflings do the same thing rats do.
Pretty much. I
Through
mean,
any hole
Dopey's
that
only
their
2
head can
foot
fit
tall. He should know about things that are small, because they can come get him.
Yeah, if you squeeze as a halfling, man, you can fit into a fucking shoebox.
that's true.
If it fits, it sits.
Right?
Well, I guess let's.
Halfling natural law.
It's true.
Well,
Well then.
I have
That's
an idea that we could figure out if it was him for sure.
I mean,
Or
that's
get him-
completely fine.
So
I'm-
Yeah,
Down to keep investigating, but I just think we should
Torture.
do something about it before we, dump all of the invested money into this place to fix it up, to have somebody come burn it down. Because
well,
that would really
that's the
piss
plan.
seemingly overnight, I I seem to gain more spell casting ability. I guess we fought enough rats, and I now have the ability to
Okay.
turn us invisible and to make people do things that I say.
That's super cool, dude.
Way to roleplay getting a level there, guy.
Yeah,
Oh,
that was a sick level up, bro.
Mother Nature reached out to me and suddenly taught me new spells. No,
She touched me at night while I was
I
sleeping.
killed some stuff and now I learned things.
That's
Neat.
how it works. I read a scroll on the inside of a rat.
It was fun.
I compel you to tell me the truth.
Those rats were filled with gold nuggets. Anyway. Okay.
Oh, we're rich. This place.
RuneScape.
Want to sell coal.
Can't wait to see XP tokens pop out of these rats.
Right? Okay, so everybody make intelligence checks for me again.
4.
16.
16.
14.
Okay, so everybody that got above a 10, you guys remember that there's still one place in Troll Skull Alley that you have yet to visit. And that is the Tiger's Eye.
Bro, we forgot to visit the Tiger's Eye.
Oh my
Which
gosh,
is
dude, you're so
a-
right. That place with stuff and things.
The
Exactly.
what?
Which is a private
Ye olde strip club.
detective's business.
Oh.
So what is that place?
It's a private detective.
Private detective.
Oh.
Nick Valentine's joint.
I feel like we could do that on our own.
Well, yeah, but
You
like
could.
But we did.
we did.
So
And Dopey feels motivated to inform us that we haven't gone to check out the private eye. But this is a
Exactly.
very coincidental time to need a private eye, so I think we should go talk to the man.
Well, very well.
So we're gonna take a look.
Try not to trip over your level up.
And here we are back at Troll Skull Alley.
Yeah, this is the Tiger's Eye, right?
Just to the right of it, the red building, right there.
Cool.
So who wants to head over that way?
Yeah,
Uh,
yeet.
Wee!
Well, I'm gonna go out here.
Well,
And then I'm
Sarantis
go
is
over
just
there.
gonna phase through walls because he's a professional.
I'm a snaky Jedi.
Yeet.
Okay, so you guys approach the building. It's pretty unremarkable on the outside, just a shabby old tenement. And as you open the door, it's about 10 o'clock as you guys make your way here after having breakfast and all of that conversation and kind of investigation. You make your way inside, and there's no bell, just an old oak door that just gives way with a. And
Spoopy. I like it.
inside is a relatively dimly lit room that is home to a simple set of chairs, like 2 chairs, a desk, and a somewhat nicer chair.
You mean to
And-
tell me that the chairs live here?
Now,
Hell yeah.
in the nicer chair at the desk sits one Vincent Trench, a human. He's dressed very nicely in a sharp suit and smoking on a very fine and articulately designed pipe.
Do I smell pipe weed?
No, you just smell rich Waterdevian tobacco.
Word. Hello, sir. I have some things I would like to inquire with you about involving Troll Skull Manor, which my friends and I have recently taken ownership of.
I know who you are. You've been here about a 10-day.
Correct.
Let me guess.
Yep.
Volo gave you the deed to that old rundown shack.
He did.
Hmm.
Didn't have enough coin in his wallet to pay me and my comrades, so
What he promised us.
Tell me about it.
Oh, does he owe you money also?
Volo seems to owe everyone in Waterdeep money.
Hmm.
So, I take it if you're here, you're interested in my services. What have you heard about me?
I've heard that you work here. That's about it. To be quite honest, I haven't done too much investigating into you.
That's why we're hiring you to
Correct.
do the investigating.
But based off of the information that you've just told me about myself, I feel like you're reasonably intelligent and can probably,
Well,
You know,
Investigate things properly.
well, it certainly sounds like you need an investigator. Wow. But, yes, I am a private investigator. I've lived in Waterdeep my entire life, and if you need something found, if you need information, if you need anything at all, I'm at your service for, of course, a fee.
wonderful.
How much is a fee? How much is
I'm
the
sure
fee?
it varies per job.
Of course,
But
of
now,
course. Well, for most investigations, typical time spent plus expenses doesn't add up to much more than 50 gold pieces. He looks at you
Gotcha.
questioningly.
Well, I've got some information for you that might aid you in quite a bit of legwork, as we've already got a suspect, or at least I do.
Yes.
And
Suspect of what?
somebody has some particularly ill will towards Troll Skull Tavern and us as new owners, and
Why
not
would-
really sure why specifically they would have grand issues with us in particular. But the owner of, I can't remember the name of the bar, the saloon.
The other tavern in the alley on the northwest
hold on.
corner.
Yeah.
I remember things. No, not there.
I know his name. I don't know the name of his bar though. Anyway, so we'll stick with his name for right now, and he'll know that he's the owner of the bar because he works a block away. Emic Froon has had some shady dealings involving my establishment. On the first day of ownership, he came in and insulted us, and we actually just had quite a rat infestation because holes were drilled into the side of the bar and into the cellar to let swarms and swarms of rats in during business hours. And
And you
as I have
suspect
personally seen him do some
Emmett
shady things.
Friend. What kind of shady things have you witnessed?
Well, he walked down a number of alleyways and was constantly checking where, if somebody was following him. Fortunately, he's not too bright. But I saw him handing a coin purse to a number of halflings, and if those halflings are anything like my halfling friend here,
Dopey waves.
Oh, didn't see you.
they're happy to cause mischief for coin.
Rude.
I mean, is it rude to not be able to see you because of something that you have no control over? If so, then yes, perhaps, but not today. Oh, so what you're telling me is you followed a man, and you saw him give gold to halflings.
I am aware it's circumstantial, which is why we're here.
Were they prostitutes?
Once
I mean,
again,
that's
for
what
anything
kind of
like
is.
my
He looks
halfling
at
friend
Kaz.
here,
He looks at Kaz, and he's just
mischief
like,
for money, no
you
questions asked.
do realize that this is the real world, and some people have strange kinks, and we're not here to kink shame.
No, we're not at all. And like I
Very
said,
well.
if it's anything like my halfling friend here, they could have been prostitutes.
Okay. Well, Vincent takes a moment and he thinks. He's like, so, you had rats attack your tavern. You saw a man with halflings, and some random street urchin told you that bad things were going to happen. Under what circumstances were this? What prompted him? Was he just some crazy with a sign, perhaps?
No, actually, he was just sitting on the side of the street with his cup out, and I put a coin in there, and then he informed me of that. There was no end of the world or I'm the all-seer information passed before then. If he believes he is if he believes that he is the one true Palmer, then perhaps He is crazy, but to my knowledge, he wasn't insane. Simply down on his luck.
Interesting. Okay, so he thinks for a moment. Go ahead and make a insight check. All right.
21.
Nice.
I know stuff and things.
So looking at his face, you get the distinct impression that he thinks you guys are a bunch of amateurs.
That's fine.
He's
Coin is
also
coin.
thinking to himself that you probably can't afford him.
We are a bunch of amateurs.
We could collectively afford him.
Well,
So
I'll have you know, I'm currently holding a rope that is holding a Yanti that has quite a bit of gold on him.
are we about to do this again?
He's your living coin purse.
Yeah, it's a snakeskin coin
You
purse.
have
You don't
control
like
of
it?
that token again, by the way. So you can move him over to
Oh
you.
my God, Caleb's
Okay,
about to be
so
pissed.
he thinks about it for a second. He's like, well,
He's gonna blame me again.
here's our...
Where did my gold go?
Okay, here he says, well, here's our boilerplate contract. For an investigation, I take half up front, so it'd be 25 gold today. And depending on the scope of the investigation, it could take anywhere from 1 to 2 10 days before I could really give you any information. However, I could set aside other investigations to accept more gold from you in advance. So instead of a 50 gold overall fee, we could talk for maybe a 60, 70, and so forth fee, so that I could move on and prioritize your investigation.
What if instead of taking half now, we paid all of it, the entire 50 gold now?
That's not how this works. Or actually, go ahead and make a persuasion roll. We'll let the dice decide.
24.
That's how it works.
Turns out the
Well-
customer is always right.
So instead of increasing the price, we'll just pay you more up front.
Well, you should know that if I still require further expenses, the price could still go up.
That should be fine.
That's fair.
Okay. Well, so, you want me to investigate who is planning or who has ill intent towards your tavern. And so far you have one suspect, this Immick Froon. Are you talking about the Immick Froon across the street that owns Immick's Brews? Or Froon's
Correct.
Brews, I should say.
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy.
Yes.
Yes.
I don't think I know of a seller of worse piss-tasting ale anywhere in the city.
Well, so clearly he's not above reproach then. So,
Well, I'm sorry, but last time I checked, it's not illegal to sell bad beer.
It should be.
You don't have to
Agreed.
buy it, you ninnies.
Oh, we don't.
So he's like, very well. So Troll Skull Manor, I know where that is. When I have something to report, I will stop by.
wonderful. Thank you, sir.
Now, as you're about to leave, he's like, hold one moment. Your group, are you perhaps adventurers?
Indeed, we are.
Yes.
Why, yes.
Oh boy. Well,
But we are amateur adventurers.
Why would you say that? Why would you say
I
that?
just want to make sure before you guys have any ideas that this is my investigation now. I will see to it, and I'm a professional. If you are intending on investigating any of this yourself, I would ask that you refrain.
So no arson.
Okay. Yeah,
Very
let's
well.
just.
Yeah, we could agree to that.
I
That's
have your
fine.
word?
You
Yes.
have my word, yes.
Very well. Thank you very much,
And
gentlemen.
my sword.
So you give
And my
him 50 gold up front?
Yes, that's 10 gold apiece if we want to split it.
Okay.
I know,
everybody-
I have 0.
I know our bard doesn't have any, but
All right.
Shul will cover it for you.
Yeah, go ahead
yeah,
and
Shul's
just
gonna cover it.
make a note, and Shul will gladly probably cover the expense. And you guys can head back to the tavern for now, and he will actually accompany you guys to the tavern, commencing the investigation immediately. And he kind of patrols around. He takes a look around the tavern and the outside, and he's just checking. You guys show him the holes in the wall. You guys show him the dead rat carcasses that are still outside in the trash, and he's just like taking it all in, kinda. And you just let him do his business, and he's just kind of doing his thing. What do you guys want to do next?
Did we get a time estimate on when it was going to, like when actual repairs were going to start being made?
So when you guys originally did your appraisal of how much it would cost and how long it would take, you and Margaret together both surmised that it would be about a 10 days worth of work.
Cool. So there will probably be guild members coming in and out throughout the day, right?
Yeah, so if you guys don't have anything that you're necessarily interested in doing right now, we could kind of just have time collapse a little bit here. A little narrative license, if so to speak. So, you guys, is that good with you guys?
It's good
It's
with me.
Yeah.
It's fine with Shul.
Okay. So, you guys, oops, took the butcher with me. Go back, butcher.
Oh, he can come.
You guys all go back to the tavern, and you guys are kind of supervising, enjoying the life of being a tavern owner. About a couple of days go by when you guys hear a knock at the door. And you guys are back at the tavern.
Go up and I open the door.
So the door opens, and there before you is Savra Bellebranta. She says,
Exotic.
"Hello, my name's Savra Bellebranta. I'm here representing the Order of the Gauntlet, and from what I hear, you new heroes have quite a bit to offer our faction." She explains a little bit about both the Order of the Gauntlet, the Halls of Justice, and how they are looking to recruit anyone who's interested in fighting evil in any form. And if any of you happen to worship Helm, Torm, or Tyr, they're even more interested. So what do you guys do? What do you guys say? Anybody interested in joining the Order of the Gauntlet and want to fight some evil, bruh?
Can I be a part of two different groups, guilds?
I mean, can you be
factions?
can you be a person that's a part of two different things? Can you have a
Can you
job
go to
and a
work
hobby?
and also have a hobby?
Like,
I mean,
you
I
tell
can't
me,
be-
buddy.
you can't be part of two gangs, so
I'm in.
I mean,
Sure, you can. It depends. What are you guys about other than fighting evil?
Oh, come in first. Come in.
Yeah.
Come-
Thank
come
you,
inside.
Tom.
Get in
She
here.
comes inside. She has a seat at one of the tables.
Yes, she does.
She explains, and you guys have a good understanding of what they mean by fighting evil. You guys just don't tolerate evil in forms like the abuse of the innocent, or someone putting someone to death that doesn't deserve it, etc., etc.
It's like my third favorite thing to do, though.
You're a bard.
She arches an eyebrow at you, eyeing your loot, knowing you're a bard. She's like, "Oh, a comedian, eh?
I'm always down to fight some bad guys.
Well,
I do enjoy fighting things.
excellent. We have much use for people that would love to fight things at the halls of justice. If you would care to accompany me to the halls themselves to recite your oath,
You did
Then-
not just ask me to come to the Hall of Justice.
I certainly did.
Well, then I'm certainly in.
And it's not the
I'm-
hall. There's not singularly one hall. There are multiple.
Oh, it's a
halls.
franchise?
It's halls of justice, baby. Ooh.
Word.
Ooh, I like
Probably got better
multiple halls.
parking, because goddamn Batmobile.
So she stands up, she clasps her fist to her armored breastplate, and she says, "So who's with me? Who shall come and recite the oath and join the Order of the Gauntlet?"
I suppose.
Dopey raises his hand.
I shall.
She gives you a high five.
Oh, she's
Good
very.
low five for
I
her.
like her already.
Now, make a sleight of hand check.
Teddy plops out, dead, all mildewy and gross.
Oh.
All right, man.
No.
Is it a
My
24?
man Dopey out here looking
Oh,
good.
17.
So you manage to like get your hand. You get a solid high five, but not so solid that the metal gauntlet of her hand like causes any damage as she gives you a high five.
Woo.
So do you guys accompany her to go and recite the oath?
Yes.
I suppose, yeah.
Cool. You guys head down to the halls of justice. All of you excited to join yet another faction of Waterdeep. As you guys make your way, the building itself is rather taller than the rest of the city, and you make your way. You see it in the distance, and it grows ever closer as you approach. Before finally, you guys are there, and you guys aren't the only ones that happen to be joining the order today. There's about half a dozen other people, kind of like adventurer. They look to be adventurer types like you guys, and
Did
you
Shul
guys-
come with us?
yeah,
Absolutely.
Shul went with you guys.
He's
I
gonna
got a very
take the
tight
oath.
leash on him, dude.
Yeah, he's got him by like the child leash, you know.
Yeah, it's got
Like
a
you put
monkey on his back.
children.
Yeah, it's like the backpack ones.
Perfect.
Oh my god. Blanky said we're gonna lose a kidney.
So,
Oh dear.
Thank
You
God I can
guys
swing
get
a sword
there.
one-handed. Don't want to lose him.
and everybody's kind of in formation, in kind of a loose formation, and they have you all take a knee, and they have you. They give you guys each a silver gauntlet pin that you can use to either like clasp a cape together or your.
Oh, you mean my
coat.
pimp cape's getting more pimp?
More pimp, buddy. More pimp.
Hashtag +2 pimp.
Ooh yeah.
Yeet.
You're gonna be making all them pimp rolls, buddy. Anyway,
Hell yeah.
So, you guys all recite the oath. You guys get your silver gauntlet, and before you guys can leave, she lets the other adventurers depart. She says, "Well, since you're all here and you're all, well, a pretty hearty-looking group, I have your first mission available for you if you're interested."
But of course.
Sure.
Well, as
Immediately
you know,
get to kill stuff.
well, as you know, the violence between the Zentarum and the Xanathar Guild has been growing and growing and growing in the city of late. We'd like you guys to just kind of take the day and patrol the city streets and keep an eye out for any potential trouble and just protect
Any
the
areas
citizenry.
in particular?
Well, the main area of unrest seems to be the field ward, where some of the more, how do I say it, poor folks of the city tend to reside. So what do you guys want to do? You guys want to head over to the field ward and kind of chill and take a look around?
Yeah.
Yeah, sounds like a plan.
Sure.
You kind of maybe remember this place. You may have been here before once or twice. So you guys all are wandering around the field district. There's not a lot of folks, but as you guys approach, you find a group of folks arguing. And as you get closer and closer, those folks their arguments sounding louder and louder, and you can't quite ascertain what it's all about, but faces are getting red, blood pressure is rising.
It's times like these I wish I could cast Calm Emotion.
What do you guys do?
Are any of them visibly armed?
Dopey's gonna get close enough to where he can hear what everybody's saying.
Okay. So as you get closer, the fight kind of dies down, and they all kind of look at you. Like, make an insight check.
Hey guys.
Make an insight check.
Everyone?
Just Dopey.
Word.
Five.
So you don't.
Hell yeah, boy.
You're not able to really ascertain what the fight is about, but as you kind of get closer and they take notice of you, they're talking in angrier, hushed tones now, and you hear something about the price of various goods for sale and about how one of the people in this discussion could have possibly robbed someone's fields or maybe picked through it after the harvest and picked up more stuff to sell that wasn't theirs. And they're having an argument about basically money. And as you watch them, The redhead grabs the person adjacent to him by the collar and just like pulls him closer.
All right. Well, now I'm walking up. All right. What's the problem here?
Go ahead and make a charisma check. You can do intimidation or persuasion.
Oh boy.
I'm gonna walk up
12.
behind him. Hold on, I'm gonna walk up behind him and just kind of as he goes by, I'm gonna touch him on the shoulder with guidance.
Okay.
Extra 2 to that.
Okay.
Hold on. Wait. I'm sorry. I forgot to move my pet.
Oh, you don't have control over him yet, do you?
I do.
Oh, you do.
Good.
Good.
Yeah,
Okay.
my animal companion.
Yeah. Shul the Warlock, animal companion extraordinaire. Okay, you get their attention, and your broad-shouldered, heavily armored, and obviously armed present gives the person pause that's grabbed the other by the collar, and his grip loosens enough that the one guy is able to wrestle himself from it. He's like, "Yeah, well, what are you about?"
I just don't like seeing fighting in the streets.
Well, who are you to tell who can and can't fight? Go ahead and make another charisma check.
12.
Okay.
Again.
So the people kind of arguing kind of like shift their eyes from side to side, kind of look around, and you get the gist that they're kind of looking for escape routes at this point. They don't really want to mess with you. But before anyone can really do anything, the one who had his collar grasped by the redheaded fellow is like, shoves the redheaded fellow. Is like, keep your filthy hands to yourself.
Gentlemen, let's not squabble
Does anybody
over
else
what
want
just happened.
do anything
Pardon?
as well? I'm just making sure that everybody else is here and wants to, if they want to do anything as well.
Yeah, do stuff.
I'm still watching because I'm 2 foot tall.
Okay.
I'm just readying. I'm gonna ready entangle, and just kind of have it ready to drop into a 20-foot square. On all of them.
Okay.
I'm just kind of strumming my lute, playing like a calming rhythm.
Would you
Just
like
hanging
to
out.
give out some inspiration, perhaps?
Yeah, sure. I will inspire.
Datagor?
Yes, that one.
So-
I'm good with names.
Okay.
So more
I
specifically,
believe the D6.
You don't have to roll it. He rolls
Oh,
it whenever
cool.
he makes his next thing.
Okay, cool. And yeah, I'm just kind of playing like a soothing song, and
This is the
Inspire.
song that never
No.
ends.
He's like
18
going to
naked cowboys at Ram
Carolina
Ranch.
in my mind. Like he's doing some chill rock, you know. Okay, so Nick, you have bardic inspiration. Go ahead and make another charisma check. Wes, did you have something you want to say?
I'm gonna touch him on the shoulder with guidance. Again, just kind of every time like he goes to talk, I'm just gonna kind of give him a little pat on the back.
Okay. Nick, reactions to just randomly being touched by Snaky Boy?
I mean, I would just look at him and sort of be like,
He didn't roll his bardic inspiration either.
what's Bardic Inspiration?
It's a
1d6?
D6.
Yep.
Okay.
Total of 14.
Okay. That's enough. What do you say?
Listen, we don't need to be fighting in the streets over petty squabbles. You shouldn't have grabbed him. You guys shouldn't be getting so angry in public. Everybody knows it's wrong to air your dirty laundry in front of the rest of the crowd.
Yeah, especially in front of children. And he points to himself.
Nice. Okay. So you see that the other three are definitely not interested in fighting. They kind of excuse themselves and they kind of grumble and they make their way. The other two that were kind of getting close to a physical altercation, the first one just kind of like gives them the classic chin, you know, maybe the other one flips the other in a bird, And they say, "This isn't over." Yeah, well, maybe take a bath before the next time. And they go their separate ways. Him backing up, him not being afraid, just walking away. Okay. It's
Human
getting
beings.
to later in the evening now. You guys have been patrolling the field ward. There's definitely a lot of civil unrest going on in the city right now. People are either afraid of getting caught up in the Zentarum v. Xanathar squabbles that are going on, or they have their own problems, but resources are thin. The harvest hasn't been brought in yet. It's still early spring. People are hungry. And you guys break up a few more fights just like that one before you finally decide to head back to Troll Skull Manor. This is like Gwen's last day off, so you get back to an empty tavern. And it's getting dark. What do you guys want to do?
I'm gonna actually go and walk around the bar and see if anything's sort of changed since we were last here. Since we were gone all day and there was no one here at all. I'm a
I
little
should probably
suspicious.
look around and see if anything bad happened.
Everybody that looks around, give me investigate checks.
Side note: can I get myself guidance in D&D? Because in Pathfinder you can.
What does it say?
Or
It just says touch. You extend your hand towards a creature you can see within range.
He just walks around the bar, touching himself.
Well,
looking
that's
at
what
things.
there's the obvious joke.
Oh, sorry. You touch one willing creature. I'm willing.
I bet you
I'm
are.
sure you're willing to
I
vote
bet you
yourself.
are.
I mean,
I'm reading
if
the
you're
comments.
really trying to get touched, you could, the resident gimp here, as I pull on Shul's leash.
So, I'll say yes, but keep in mind this will break concentration. It will need to be casted in advance of the roll and in
Okay.
advance of the action.
Okay.
So if you're going to guide yourself, I can understand maybe just like, give myself wisdom. Give me sight beyond sight, you know?
Yeah.
But there's no like, oh shit, I failed that roll. Guidance? You know?
Well, it says it can be.
While I think about it, I touch myself.
It can roll the die before or after making the ability check.
That's the cheesiest thing ever. I personally don't think you should be able to do that. Because if you're going to actively seek for something, you're obviously going to do that, but you're not going to just shove your own finger up your ass because you accidentally dropped something.
Like I said,
This is
That's not how
specifically
that
just
works.
talking about if you were going to use it on yourself.
okay. All right. Well, then actually, in that case, I'm just gonna go ahead and I'm gonna walk around with Dodagor and give him a touch.
So, which roll is your roll, Nick? You rolled a two d20s there. I got a 9 and a 16.
I have advantage on investigation.
Okay. So no one else but you really notice. You're kind of looking around the basement, and you have several bags of hops and oats down there, and it looks like they've been freshly chewed on.
As in, how fresh? Because, 24 hours ago, rats. So,
No,
define fresh.
that was like 3 days ago now.
Okay,
So this is today.
cool. All right, guys, I think we still got a little bit of a rat problem. These oats, and I think these are hops.
Downstairs in the basement?
Yeah, these have been munched on. Dopey, did you eat these hops?
Well, no.
Are we smoking beer, dude?
What?
Are we smoking beer?
Maybe.
Smoking beer?
Yeah, did you just light hops on fire, smoke beer?
I
Maybe.
don't think they do that.
Okay.
Have you tried it?
I have not.
Well then.
What's your week?
I thought you were fam.
Thought you were fam.
I thought you were Bay.
Okay.
If he keeps buying you headphones and shit, fuck, he might as well be.
Those are
sugar
on
daddy.
loan.
Oh, he already is Sugar Daddy.
Those are on loan completely. So you guys look around. You alert everybody else to the bags that have been chewed on by some rats. What else do you guys want to do?
Can we set like traps?
Do you have
Yes.
snares or-
Yeah, well, we would
Sarandon
have to
has
go
a
get
trap he
traps.
can set.
Okay. What trap do you want to set?
Snare.
Okay. Where?
It lasts up to 8 hours. Are there any clear holes, or is it still a bunch of little ones?
You haven't identified any new holes.
Okay, is there a clear entryway that the rats would still be getting into?
Hold on one second.
I mean, we could block off all but one hole and then set the trap on that hole.
I mean, if they gnawed through and made holes, they could just gnaw through a new area and be like,
Well, we know they
they're coming
got drilled. Too smooth to be done by rats, especially that quick.
that's all right. Fair point.
And
But
I
what are
can
we
set
gonna
up.
plug these?
I can set up to 4 snares, gentlemen.
Okay, so would you like to bait them perhaps and put them in conspicuous places, or you want to find holes and put them in front of those? How do
Yeah,
you
do
want
we
to
have
set
any
these
feet?
traps? I mean, they seem to like your hops and oats.
I wouldn't say
Oh, right.
I think we should kind of do this where we don't bait them in, but if they are going to come, then they get caught. But I don't think we should set extra bait for them.
Okay.
That's fair.
And why don't you show me where you want to set up these traps then?
All right. I mean, where are the holes that I see? Can I look around and see the holes? Kind of a take
Most
10.
of them are made into the doors, since it was easier to make holes in the wooden doors than the stone mason work. But there is one small hole in the basement that looks like it was dug out, not necessarily into the stone, but there's some earthen portions to the walls in the basement, and that's where the hole is. Now,
Gotcha.
also, you take a look at that, you could probably pretty easily plug that hole.
Anyway, all right. Well, I guess we'll plug up what holes we can, and the holes that we can't or that can be easily re-chewed through, that's where I'll set the snares.
Okay.
Does
Then
anyone
you
now the
set
real
them-
quick?
You
does
set 4 of them.
Does anyone have any extra rope? Because I have.
I've got rope.
Okay, I have
I
50.
could have rope too.
I have 50 feet, but each time I set a snare takes 25 feet.
Yeah, I got 50 feet of rope I can give.
Okay, cool. So that's all I need. I just need one other person to give me 50 feet.
You and your fucking rope.
We're
Okay.
gonna need the rope.
Come on.
All
Told you
right,
the fucking
so
rope
you
would
set up
come
your
in handy.
snares. We'll say that the snares are essentially at the doorways downstairs.
Okay.
Okay. Now, what else do you guys want to do?
Well, having done that, I would probably just sort of hang out here.
Okay. So
Dopey's gonna ask if anybody's hungry and see if he can make some dinner for him.
Yeah, that French toast was pretty good. Do it again.
We're out of
Weeping
eggs
to
and
himself in
sugar
the
and
basement.
bread.
Yeah, so you guys have actually familiarized yourselves with the kitchen layout a little bit more now that it's been a few days. So you found some more ingredients. You whip up something to eat. And you guys have dinner. If there's nothing else that you guys want to do for the evening, Sarantis is going around setting up his traps for the evening so that he can get 8 hours of rest and not be too terribly worried. Is there anything that keys you into the trap being set off at all?
No, so I mean, I'm assuming it would be like the squeals and stuff, but it's kind of like the old movies where you'll see like a rope, dude steps on a
right,
rope
dude
and then
slings
gets
up to the ceiling.
gets pulled up. It does exactly that, just magically.
And that's going to work on a rat?
It says.
I mean,
hold
snare
on.
traps do work on small animals.
I mean,
Yep.
what size rope are we talking here?
The trap triggers when a small, medium, or large creature.
Okay. I'd say rats are tiny, but that's fine. It'll work.
I don't know the way
These
that
ones
you
are the size
described.
of toasters.
Yeah, I was about to say
Yeah.
the one you described. That one was the size of a toaster.
Yeah, and you could definitely fucking tie up a chihuahua, which is essentially toaster sized, with rope.
All right, so you set your traps. What else do you guys want to do tonight?
Well, unless
I-
anybody needs Dopey, he's just gonna go to bed.
I'm gonna go to bed. I've wasted. I used all 4 first level spell slots, putting my snares out. So
Okay.
Well, I suppose I'll put you to bed,
Okay.
and
Oh,
I'm actually
Nighty night,
gonna
Shul.
I'm gonna put him up there. Yeah.
No.
Just because.
You're gonna tuck him
Fucking
in
Shul.
too.
And then I'm gonna hang out down here for a little while and just sort of wait until later in the evening when I feel a little more convinced that people aren't gonna do some dumb shit.
Gonna hit some of that wizard weed.
No. I'm
Smart.
paranoid right now. You can't smoke more wizard weed when you're paranoid.
You're not wrong.
I also probably hang out down here, and I'm just kind of like working on perfecting new like riffs and stuff, writing music.
Okay. Okay. Well, after you've done that long enough, do you go ahead and head back to bed?
Yeah.
Okay. So you guys all go ahead and
No.
head to bed. I need everybody to go ahead and make perception checks for me
Uh-oh.
as the morning arrives.
7.
19.
16.
So, Kaz, you hear a loud yelp. Ah!
Oh no.
And
Oh no.
That sounds like an old woman getting caught in a snare.
Oh
you,
fuck!
you make your way downstairs, and
I am
hanging by his ankle
sprinting.
is Justin Rask, who
Tuka
is
Rask, that big boy.
a
Tuga
member
Rask.
of the Guild of Butchers, and just so happens to be here with your delivery.
Oh shit. I start looking for a way to get him down from
He's-
being
he's
strung.
like-
Like, is it?
He looks. He's got panic-stricken eyes. He's get me down.
I
Uh,
am profusely apologizing. Just like I'm so sorry about that, sir. And like I'm trying to help get him down.
Uh,
We've
You should be able
had
to cut through the rope if you set it up
some-
like that.
Yeah, I was just
In-
gonna say just walk over and cut the rope, right?
oh cool, yeah.
No. The trap is nearly invisible, requiring a successful intelligence or investigation check against your spell save DC. To be discerned.
So what's your DC? Russ?
DC.
Now, that's
13.
That's
13.
its visibility before it's been triggered.
Yeah, that's before it goes off.
Now he sees the snare is occurred.
Right, because it's around his leg. I mean,
No,
he knows where it
as-
is.
As you cast this spell, you use the rope to create a circle within a 5-foot radius on the ground of the floor. When you finish casting, the rope disappears and the circle becomes a magic trap.
Right.
So there is no rope. It's just he's magic. It's a
Right,
magic
the
snare
rope's been
trap.
consumed, I guess.
It's basically, at this point, it's like the magical energy of the rope.
He's held aloft by magic.
I mean, it is hemp rope.
It was hemp rope. Now it's magic.
But it does say nearly invisible, so someone could make an investigation check to see it. But of course, everybody did see
So
me set
we're
them.
gonna say that that's while it's set. Now that it
Oh.
has been triggered, you guys can plainly see the rope that you used to set up this trap. Is
Okay, because I was
hanging
gonna say I
this man
definitely
up.
passed those 2 investigation checks, whichever one you wanted to pick.
Sure.
All
Because
right,
The only
cool.
thing that says it about being invisible is before it's triggered. Now he is
I tell him
magically
that-
restrained, but he's still got a rope.
Is there a way that I can cut the rope and kind of gently lure him down so he doesn't just like?
There's
Eat shit.
no more rope.
Is that what you'd like to do?
It is.
I-
There are no more rope. It's
Ideally,
magic.
yes.
Make a strength check.
Cool. Ooh.
That'll do it. So you
All right,
managed
sweet.
to cut the rope and then also maintain a hold of it without, so that he doesn't just collapse onto the floor. He does, however, fall into a heap. It's like, what the fuck was that?
We've been having some problems with things getting into the tavern while we're away. So we've been placing snare traps to try and kind of curtail that. I apologize. We hadn't thought about.
You ain't away. You're right here.
people coming in.
Well, I'm supposed to come in. Don't you want your delivery?
We do. That was
Where's
lack of foresight
Gwendolyn?
on our part.
Who are you?
I am one of the owners. Another one of the. I'm one of the stoners, I guess.
Typical bourgeois. So, to the left of him, in his heap that he's gathering himself out of, is a couple of small brown parcels wrapped in twine that are obviously meat that he has to deliver. And he gets himself up and he takes it like, don't worry, I know where this goes. And he takes that back to the pantry and he's like, I'll be right back and I gotta go get some more too, so just be patient and please don't trap me.
Of
He
course.
goes back out to his cart outside that you guys can now see through the open door. It's just laden with other deliveries to be made as well as yours. And he comes back and delivers the remainder of the order, which is actually quite sizable, but you guys kind of get the idea that it's about a week's worth of meat for a moderately busy tavern.
Cool.
Excellent.
So as he finishes off the delivery, he comes up to you and he's like, well, for me trouble. And he holds out his hand.
Kaz.
Right. I will be right back with that. 1 second.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna go tell somebody who has coin that.
Would I have come downstairs by now or no?
I would have,
Once
based on
he's
the
finished
initiative,
making his delivery, we'll say that everybody is downstairs.
or based on the perception. Excuse me.
Cool.
I hope he's gonna be petting Eugene.
Okay.
I'm just like,
Affectionately purrs back at you.
I'll walk over and pay the man. How much do I need to take off my thing?
Just whatever you feel an appropriate tip for being snare trapped is.
Waterfall. I will give this man 2 gold and say sorry for the inconvenience. We won't let it happen again.
Well, thank you, sir. Thank you. Pleasure to meet all of you, and give Gwendolyn and Margaret my best. Thank you. And he goes ahead and he goes over to his cart. He lifts both heavy boughs onto his shoulder, and he starts walking down the street.
Oh damn, he's hench.
This guy is yoked.
Yeah, right.
Well, that's fine.
Still scream like a bitch.
He sure does.
Hey,
Scream
gentlemen,
like an old woman.
Gentlemen, at least we know my traps work.
Should we check the other traps?
They would be gone by now. They're only around for 8 hours.
Well, you
For
guys
8
all
hours.
woke up when that one was still working, so chances are the others are still.
Should probably
Yeah,
check
they've got
the
like a
other
little bit of
traps.
time left on him.
All right, yeah, let's go down and check them then.
Okay.
To all the different doors and stuff.
Okay, well, you didn't set one up in the basement, but you
Damn.
did set one up at right there. Do you walk right there?
No, I mean, I
Yes.
don't.
Kaz did.
Yeah, Kaz went into the basement.
Wes, go ahead and tell me what your spell modifier is.
13. 13 save DC.
And that's an intelligence check.
It is an intelligence
Yeah.
or investigation.
All right, Kaz, let's see.
Oh boy, I'm gonna go for a ride.
Oh fuck!
Whee!
Kaz, wait!
Would he not get
Hear
advantage? if he
what
knew where he set
sounds
them?
like invisible rope, and just kind of like thwip, just something seizes you around the ankle, and the rest of you kind of surprisingly stare up at Kaz, who just gets strung up straight to the ceiling, laughing uncontrollably the entire time.
So I guess
And
that
then-
one didn't catch anything.
Nope.
Oh, it did. It
It
caught
caught
Kaz.
It caught a Kaz. I go
I
over.
guess.
I go over and I think I can dismiss it. I mean, I know what it does. I reach over him and kind of like, I'm not even gonna help him fall. I just cut the rope.
Ow.
Yeet.
All right. Kaz, roll 1d4.
Cool.
It's another morning here in the tavern. Do you guys want to check the rest of the traps?
Yes,
Do you
sure.
also plan on approaching
No.
them carefully or
I-
disarming them?
I know where I put
I
them.
would. I mean, I would send Kaz.
There's a
I was
trap
really
right here,
hoping that Dopey was gonna step into this square, and I was gonna get him
You
too. I was just
know.
like, "Yes, do it."
Dopey's just gonna peek around the corner and see if there's anything hanging there.
There's nothing hanging in any of the other traps. You guys have not had any unwanted visitors. Just lucky for all of you, the butcher arrived before Margaret or Gwen do. So that's
Yeah,
really
seriously.
Or the boys.
nice. Yeah. But,
Well, the boys probably
Boys
would've
would
thought it was
be
funny.
think it's hilarious though.
Speaking of Margaret and Gwen, they slowly make their way into the tavern for another day's work.
Perfect.
Boys.
Strength can ask for his dagger back.
The boys just kind of run haphazardly past all of you, and they're playing what looks like this strange game of cards that you guys haven't really seen, unless you guys can make me an intelligence check.
It's a deck of many things. Don't draw a card.
Do you think I'm going to give you morons a deck of many things this early?
Hell yeah! I don't know what cards
Oh my
are.
god!
Nobody knows anything.
We're just like, ooh, cool card game.
It's 3 Dragon Ante.
It's
though.
Magic the Gathering. No, you guys have never seen it before, so you're not too familiar with this Waterdavian card game.
Okay.
Dopey's gonna go over and play with the boys, or at least watch them play.
Playing
Okay.
with children is illegal.
Go ahead and make a charisma check.
Nine.
So they like you, so go ahead and roll with advantage.
19.
So
Clutch.
you show interest in anything that they do, and they're pretty perked up about it. They explain to you that this is 3 Dragon Ante, a
Called it.
very classic Faerun card game, but more prevalent in the areas around and inside of the City of Waterdeep. And they spend a little bit of time. You guys have plenty of time today, about 30 minutes to an hour, teaching you how to play. You have a new skill, and that's playing 3 Dragon Ante. That's it.
Cool.
Add a custom skill.
Sure.
Where do I add that?
I have no idea. That's why
If
I'm the
you-
DM. I don't have to fuck with character sheets. I just have to
If
look
you-
at them.
At
Hell
the
yeah.
bottom of D&D Beyond on your
I think
skills
you
block,
hit additional skills, and then at the bottom of that is custom skills.
Perfect.
hit the little gear and then custom skill, add
Additional
custom.
skill, fellatio. That's like on Kaz's character sheet 3 times. So,
Check out.
does anybody have any interest in doing anything over the next couple of days?
I'm gonna go out and just kind of find the odds and ends things that I need for spell components.
Okay.
I will also do that.
Okay.
Oh. I want to look around for components to build a thing that I sent you before.
Okay.
I also think that Dotagor and I should go and see if the spy network has anything else that we need us to do.
The Harpers.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, I don't have gold though. Shit.
I will also be bringing my gimp
What
wherever I go, just so I'm clear.
So, real quick question for everybody, because I'm not sure. What is gum Arabic?
That's a font, isn't it?
No, that is a paste for putting special effects stuff on.
Yeah.
Okay. Because it says for my invisibility spell, I need an eyelash encased in gum Arabic.
Okay.
Oh yeah,
Or-
it's like
or
a
Arabic.
silicone padding thing. It's hard to explain.
No, it's,
Okay.
it's more like rubber cement.
Okay. But I'm assuming all the other little things that I would need, obviously, except for the 200 gold piece acorn that I would be able to find generally somewhere in the city
Okay.
over the process of like 3 or 4 days.
I'm sure you could talk to your
So if you guys
Enclave
want-
friends. They might be able to hook you up with special acorns.
You talking about the Gilded Acorn?
Yes, that's actually
Yeah, you get that after you win the Druid Olympics.
So that's gonna still probably cost you quite a bit. I don't think you're gonna be able to find it. But if you need other stuff you can afford, we don't have to role play through it. We can just go ahead and say you guys find it. Everybody that's shopping, just roll persuasion for me real quick.
okay. Persuasion's +4.
I don't have
15.
money.
Sick.
Unless I can-
Neither of you
Oh,
get any discounts today. So let me know. Look up the components.
Oh, +6.
Add them
It-
to your.
Fuck it, why not?
Add them to your bag for full price from the player's handbook.
So some of mine aren't going to be in the player's handbook. Like I need a snake's tongue, ashes from a burned leaf of mistletoe and
Oh.
a sprig of spruce, an
There should
gum
be a
arabic.
generic cost for purchasing your stuff associated with the spell, right?
Hold on, let me see.
What's the spell, for example?
Suggestion. So suggestion, I need a snake's tongue and either a bit of honeycomb or a drop of sweet oil. And the honeycomb or the sweet oil would be easy to find, but a snake's tongue.
So this is, again, the City of Waterdeep. You're not going to have trouble finding any components for most spells until you get to like the 5th or 6th level, and that's just because they're a little bit more rare. You're
No,
gonna
And
be
we
able
do
to
have
find
Shul
this.
too. I'm just saying.
I mean,
Right.
That's also true.
Mm.
He's on a leash. Take it.
I mean, for
And you could cut his tongue off.
We're really
Like you saying anything
putting
anyway.
a lot of time into something that I've already let you have. Are you saying that you just don't know how much it costs?
yes, and that's what I'm saying is like you said, take the cost of whatever it is, but like I
Yeah,
can't
I just
find a
looked, and
snake's tongue of how much a snake's tongue costs.
Probably about as much as the snake does.
Probably. Let's see.
Yeah, because Petrified Eye of Newt is not in the player's handbook.
Yeah, I looked up snake tongue, and it's not either. Let's see. Suggestion. Well, let's assume that you got it for now. We'll come back to how much we will take out of your
Okay.
gold later.
Okay.
Word.
But right now, you guys are quickly approaching the grand opening of the Troll Skull Manor. Now, with that, you guys haven't seen Liff in a while. You guys also haven't decided on the final name of your new tavern. And Serantis, you still should let Melanor Fellbranch know when your grand opening is arriving, so that he and his fellow other members of the Enclave could perhaps druid craft some neat decorations or some plans.
Okay. Yeah, nearing the end of like the working and all of the like the maintenance and things, once it starts to get about 4 to 5 days out from being complete, I'll make a trip to the Enclave and just actually no, I'm gonna cast the big boy spell, Animal Messenger,
Nice.
and send it to them.
Nice. All right. What do you say?
Just letting them know, gentlemen. I told you I would let you know when our grand opening would be. After much of the construction is done, we are roughly 4 to 5 days from being complete. So our grand opening will be in roughly 6 days.
Okay. You send it, and you don't get a reply right away.
Okay, that's fine. I didn't expect a reply right away.
So I just
did we ever-
posted a spreadsheet for all of you for some material spell components in D&D 5th edition, their prices. If they have a 0 next to their value, they will not cost you anything, but some things have more, some things have less, blah, blah, blah.
Okay.
In this case, Snake Tongue is nothing.
Okay, alright, cool. And I'll go through later on and find find each individual thing and add it up and just take it out of my gold.
Sounds good.
Same.
But yeah, like I said, I send that animal messenger to them when it's like 3 to 4 days from being complete, and then tell them the day after we expect it to be complete.
Okay. So
Have we heard anything from Homeboy, our
from
investigator?
Vincent?
Yeah.
Not as of yet. No.
Cool.
So
Did we ever
go ahead.
did we ever check back in with the what are the dudes at the forge about the sign that we were getting for in
No, we
memory
haven't,
of?
because we haven't opened yet.
No, we did not.
You guys have not.
Okay, I remember them saying it was going to be like a 10-day, and I trying
So,
to
yeah,
keep
it should
track of
probably
how
be
many
done by now.
days have elapsed.
So
is probably
it's
done by now.
been just shy of a 10-day, but before you guys get to your grand opening, well, like maybe a 10-day plus a day or two will have passed by. So if you guys want to
Okay.
head over there, that's fine.
Yeah, we should probably go check and see if that's done.
Okay.
Cool.
We'll head over that way.
Where the hell did this drop me in at?
You guys remember where it's at?
Right
I'll give
here.
you a hint. You can see him on the map. Nope. Womp. Womp.
Oh, really?
Yeah, double chimneys, double forge. And you can see the armor.
Yep.
And you can see
Oh,
him.
we have 3 chimneys.
I was too zoomed in.
Okay, so you guys head over to what was it called? Steam and Steel.
Steamy Ifrit? I don't know, something
Steam
like
and Steel, home of Imbric and Avi. And you give them a quick pop, pop, pop rap on the door. And they kind of see you through the smoky window, and they beckon you guys to come in.
Walk in. Oh,
You go
good
on in.
afternoon, gentlemen. Good morning.
Well, hello. Hi. They both greet you warmly.
We're coming to check on if the sign had been completed. We are roughly we are a few days from opening, and with our grand opening, we would definitely like the sign, like the commemorative sign, to be up when we do open.
Well, I was just putting the finishing touches to it, says Avi, as Imbric kind of is working the forge. He's trying to get the fire hot, so he's working quite hard at this massive bellows, and he's just got sweat pouring off of him, despite being made of fire. He is working to pump the bellows, and it's a little different. It's not like a up and down type. He's fashioned a bellows that allows him to kind of spin a
Crank.
wheel and crank that thing to get it hot. And as you guys see him, like every downward stroke of the crank, you just see this gout of flame coming out of the forge. He's working to get hot. Avi is kind of fast at work with this. It looks like a piece of soft cloth, and he's dipping it in oil and kind of just polishing what looks like y'all's sign. Well, this will take me the better part of an hour. If you want to hang out, you can hang out. Otherwise, I can definitely walk down to my neighbors and drop it off for you.
Yes,
That'd be wonderful, thank you.
that will be awesome. Thank you.
No problem. Imbric stops Dodagor and kind of wipes his brow for a second before, as the rest of you guys leave, he's like, any chance you've come across any of that metal I was looking for?
Not yet, but we're still looking.
Very well. And he goes back to cranking the forge.
Cool.
While we're here, I actually have a question for Embrick.
Okay.
Because I wanted to get something crafted. I was wondering what kind of materials I would need and how much it would cost.
Okay. Do you have plans for him?
Says the broke bard.
Yeah, I know. I'm working on that. I do sort of. I just have the picture that I sent. I'm trying to find it.
So he shows him a sketch of what he's thinking of.
Yeah. So I sent him, if I can find Discord.
I have it. It's the war loop.
Oh, cool.
I see it.
Yeah. So I show him kind of what I'm looking to create and the sketches that I drew of it.
So he takes a look at it and starts laughing uproariously. Just. You want me to make? You want me to make that?
Or if you know somebody who could.
Well, he starts laughing again and kind of gets his senses.
What?
Sorry, I don't mean to offend you or anything, but I mean, how much gold do you have on you? He kind of looks you up and down.
It's a work in progress. It wasn't like a thing I needed anything now. I was just
Make a
curious.
persuasion roll.
Persuasion. Cool. I thought I had a macro for it. I did not.
So he ignores you dodging the question that was asked and moves on. He's like, well, I do think that you'd probably be looking for someone of much more skill than you'll find in Troll Skull Alley, at the very least. I mean, if I'm interpreting this design correctly, it's a lute with a crossbow and a scimitar built in.
More or less, yeah.
He just continues to stare at you incredulously. Well,
I'm just smiling, like.
I wish you the best of luck.
All
And he
right.
gives you back
Thank
his-
you. I guess, and with that, I leave feeling a little bit dejected.
Okay. So you guys head back to the tavern for now?
Correct.
Okay. When you guys get back to the tavern,
Almost forgot my gimp.
Wes, you see that Melanor has arrived, and he and a few other druids that you've never seen before are making quick work, kind of druid crafting a number of things around the doors. Now, you guys previously had kind of like this outdoor area where there are like balconies and stuff. Well, they've replaced the timber from those balconies with just natural growths. Like the handrails are now just intricately woven willow boughs from trees that have just sprouted instantaneously thanks to the druid craft. And one druid is walking around and just kind of pointing at different things, and from the ground just erupt clay pots, but it's just earthen pots that have just earth-shaped into being, and someone's going behind them and just putting flowers in each of the pots, and
Putting
one-
in shrubbery.
Shrubbery. We are the knights who. We just watched that movie last night, actually. And this one. We are the knights who say.
Nay.
Ecka ecka kabang we bum. Anyway,
Ah, the knights who formerly said knee.
Indeed. And the last druid that you guys can see is just kind of almost looks like he's directing a symphony, but with every flick of his wrist and every twist of his finger, ivy is just kind of coming up and growing along the spinneret here, and just kind of encompassing that whole thing with just fine green ivy that then seems to sprout flowers every now and then of multiple beautiful colors. All in all, the exterior of the tavern itself has just been beautified. And as
Okay.
you guys walk inside,
I agree. By the way, just on a side note, because I haven't met these druids before, just in a sign of kind of like a respect to an elder druid, I greet them in druidic and tell them how nice it looks and everything as we approach.
okay, sounds good. So as you guys kind of walk inside, give me a moment here to fiddle. You all see Lif. And Lif is inside, and she is petting Shul. Not Shul.
And she's petting the gimp. Got a kinky ass ghost up in here.
She's petting Eugene, and Eugene is loving it. And when you guys enter, she kind of looks up at you guys. Make insight checks for me.
+5. I'm gonna give myself guidance.
Okay.
Never mind. Yeah, sure.
I was about to say, you rolled,
20
you said it now.
26.
Okay.
13.
19.
So all of you guys notice that she has a pleasant expression on her face. And when she sees you all come in, she kind of spreads her arms out and does like a little twirl, just kind of motioning to the tavern. And over the past few days, you guys know you've paid many guilds in Waterdeep to come in and effect repairs. The holes in the roof have been fixed. Many of the like the tables and chairs have been fixed up or replaced. The bar itself has been completely redone by the Carpenters Guild. The floors themselves have been re-waxed, and it looks and feels like a tavern. As you go upstairs, the previously tattered and moth-riddled rugs have been replaced, and the books were dusted, and everything is just coming together. And with that, Lif, her whole demeanor has changed. As you sidle up to the bar, Dopey, the stool in front of it gets pulled back, almost like, here, allow me. And you plop your tiny tushy down on the stool, and she pushes you in.
Dopey, of course, is going to say, thank you very much. I'm glad that you like what we're doing with the place.
She does a curt bow and disappears.
Well, gentlemen, I guess we're doing something, right?
Yeah. Even Eugene likes her.
Yeah, compared to the first time you met her.
Huh. Yeah.
Yeah.
Making progress.
So, at this point, you guys are planning to open the tavern in about 2 days. What do you want to do?
Sweet. Move the gimp away from the front door because that'll scare the customers.
We should probably start putting flyers up around town. Let people
Okay.
know we're getting ready to open.
Yep.
Okay, cool. So
Yeah, and I'll invite the blacksmith and friends.
Should probably invite the Harpers too.
Okay.
And the black
Yeah.
staff, like all the people that we're now in bed with.
Okay. So you guys, how do you want to do that?
I don't.
Which part? Like
So
the
how
I do
you
not
wanna
want to
do
invite
the
all of those
Harpers,
people there.
why
For
do you
3
want-
reasons.
how do you
One,
wanna do
the
black
fact
staff?
that our poor DM is going to have to do 90 voices in like 2 seconds, and they're all going to sound like a fucking gremlin.
Keep in mind,
Oh,
they
come
can
on.
always just not go. So it doesn't. Don't worry about what I'm gonna do or not. If you guys want to do it, do it.
Because then he'll just
But
say,
then also,
nope, they
I
declined
don't
the
know
invitation.
I don't know about the relationships between these people, and I would rather not have a gang war or a guild war, Guild Wars 2, happen in the fucking bar on opening night.
Okay.
I mean, what's a tavern without a good bar fight to open it up?
Keep in
You're not
mind,
wrong.
it is a large city. So when you're talking about inviting all of these people, many of them are not from this ward.
Yeah, and they're
specifically.
like on the opposite side of town. Yeah.
Yeah. So you may want.
I mean-
them, but that doesn't mean that they're gonna come.
That's sort of what I was thinking, though, right? So, like, if we at least invite people, it's in good faith. They can then decide, show up, don't show up, but at least it looks like we're ingratiating ourselves.
We're actually taking initiative to, be a part of their culture, their lives.
Okay.
That's true.
So, how would you like to get in touch with the Harpers? How would you like to get in touch with the Blackstaff?
I'm going to tell the horse.
Well, keep in mind that they employed you to get in touch with the horse. So if they had like a direct line of communication, horse to Harpers, you'd probably not be you.
Well, no, I understand that part, but the horse can go around town, or around, town and let everybody know that the place is opening up. That's how you get a.
So you'd like to employ the horse to?
Yeah, it'll cost like a,
Okay.
a carrot.
We'll buy her a few carrots.
Okay. So I take it Dopey and Dotagor, you guys want to take care of that?
For sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Shul.
And Shul.
And our gimp.
Yeah, gotta take the gimp along.
It's my coin
Wes
purse.
and Kaz. Kaz, you wanted to invite the Blackstaff?
Yeah, I guess.
Kaz, I can, Kaz,
Yeah,
I can
yes,
send.
sir.
I can send an animal with a message if you would prefer just to send it that way.
It wasn't even
No,
like
no, make him go by
I'll
himself.
go in person. That's fine. I just
Make them walk the streets of
last
Waterdeep
time I
alone.
remember that we did something with the Black Staff. Levels of exhaustion were a thing, and I would like to not die.
Well, okay.
Hold on.
So,
Then
is there anybody that wants to maybe tell the rest of Troll Skull Alley that you guys are going to be opening?
That's
You've
what the
met
flyers are for.
Numerous people. So you guys are going to go around Troll Skull Alley and put flyers. You're going to have Maxine kind of spread word through
Yeah.
the other districts.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yes.
and we're of course gonna personally invite.
Who's going to put the flyers up in Troll Skull Alley?
Not Dopey.
Yeah, they're not gonna be legible because they're
They
gonna
would,
be
they would be
shin
high.
Okay.
Kaz,
So-
do you want
I'll walk
Like,
Shul
bro.
around the neighborhood.
Kaz, do you want me to come along with you or put up these flyers?
It's up to you. I just am trying to not die. I'm squishy.
All right, very
The
well.
only
I
reason we
will.
took levels of exhaustion is because we had to run and do
Up a
this
mountain
thing real
to go
quick.
do something. Yeah, if you were just
Oh,
swinging by
yeah.
to say, hey, by the way, you're gonna get levels of exhaustion walking up somebody's front steps.
I am real out of shape, man. I
I mean,
sit
you're a bard, I
tomorrow.
understand that, but like also,
Yeah, sure.
And Kaz, go ahead and roll 2d20.
Oh.
Guidance?
Not gonna
Oh no. I got a
Jesus
4.
Christ!
Holy shit.
add 8 gold to your inventory. You've been an especially shitty bard this 10 day.
Cool.
Yeah. Okay. So, Sarantis is going to put up flyers. Kaz, you're headed to the Blackstaff castle to invite one of the most powerful wizards of all time to your barbecue. And then
Who's
Doc-
pretending to be a very weak old person.
Yeah.
yeah, well, you don't know that I do though.
You wouldn't have told us?
I feel like probably not. I would have just been sitting there stewing in my own suspicion.
Fair enough.
Okay, so we're gonna go collapse time. You guys get to, or Kaz, you get to Blackstaff Castle, and the Blackstaff is not present. The guards out front allow you to put up some flyers, but that's about it. Dotagor and Dopey spend the better part of the day looking for Maxine, finally finding her in the Sea Ward. You are able to bribe her with a few carrots to tell people about your grand opening, but she is a little apprehensive because she doesn't normally expose her true nature to just anybody. But she agrees that any passengers that she gives rides to, she'll let them know about Trollskull Manor. She does ask, what do you guys plan to call your tavern? You're going to call it Trollskull Manor?
That's what I thought we agreed on.
Okay.
I mean, we could name it after Leaf.
Leaf's place?
Leaf's Tavern.
Okay.
Are we all having this discussion together before they left, or is it just
Yeah,
you
yeah.
having this discussion at the horse?
You guys can
Yeah,
have
no,
this
yeah,
before
we're
they-
deciding with the horse what the name is.
Because fuck
Me,
the rest of
Topi, and
you.
the Gimp.
I like the double carrots.
I like sugar cubes.
Oh, sugar cubes. That
The
sounds
Sugar
like a fucking
Cube
strip
Inn.
club.
And
That's
a
it.
great
orange
game
juice,
for.
sugar cube and vodka. This is the BoJack Horseman Maxine talking.
Ah.
Okay,
Um,
so what's
We good with Leaf's place? Leaf's in?
Lift's place sounds.
is
Lift's
there
in?
is there an opportunity for alliteration there? This is a vocabulary test. Wes is like, what's vocabulary mean?
Lift's
I'm just-
leeward layaway?
You can see it in his face. Well, I will tell you guys that the thought occurred to me once you said Lift's place that another word for alcohol is libation. But that does
That's
sound like
true,
way
that is a good-
classier of a joint than I think you guys intend to run here. So I don't know. It's up to you.
We could call it Lift's leeward layaway.
That is even more alliteration.
I have to be able to say the name of our tavern.
We could just call it Lift's.
You could
Yeah,
just
no,
roleplay it
yeah.
and be
Wes is
like,
over here.
"Oh,
It's
I
like
say it."
it's Weeps Waywood Wayway.
Its full name could be Lift's leeward layaway, and you just call it Lift's.
Okay.
That's true.
Kinda
I'm
like
okay with that name.
As long as
Paneras
there's
instead of
something I can
Panera
shorten
Bread.
it to.
We can call it
Leaf's.
Lift's.
Or our bar.
The bar. Y'all headed to the bar. Okay, so you guys gonna go with
If-
Leafs? Leafs
If we
place?
change the name of it now, do we have to redo the paperwork that we did when we were originally?
so
planning-
the name of Troll Skull Manor is wholly separate from what you call your tavern. Like the
Yeah,
deed
and
is
also the
just-
company that owns it, which is
Okay.
Eugene and the Stoners.
Exactly. So, no, you will not have. You will not somehow lose ownership of your property by calling it by another name.
That would be one of the biggest dickhead
That'd be
GM moves of the
Horrible.
century.
Don't put it past me though. I'm fucking evil. So.
I'll bring my coin purse, dude. I don't care.
Okay. So Maxine starts spreading the word that in about a day and a half, you guys are going to have your grand opening. So let's fast forward to the next day. You guys are kind of going around putting up more flyers, and you kind of finish off by about noon. This is the day before your grand opening, and you guys are headed back, and I need you all to make perception checks.
Hey, did we tell the dude who sold us the place that we're having the grand
Fuck
reopening?
Bolo did.
I don't think you did.
No.
Stingy ass old man.
You said perception checks?
Hey, I don't.
Oh
see
no! Oh
Six-
no!
16
Thank God
total.
for Doc.
Well,
21.
thank God for Doc.
16.
Doc, you start passing by some of the posters that you guys have previously put up, and over top of them now, painted in what appears to be like thick black paint, is just
The Gimp saw it too.
awful, awful like curses and like demonic iconography and just horrible things. And at a closer look, the paint is still fresh.
So Dopey's gonna have one of the tall people grab one down for him, and then suggest
just
that we take it over to the investigation place that we hired to do this,
Okay.
and to show it to them.
Before anybody grabs that, I smack their hand out of the way. Do
Both of you
not touch
roll
that.
Athletic checks.
So it wouldn't be me, because I'm way too short for that shit.
I guess since no one's actually tried to touch it yet, you don't have to roll
Yeah.
a check.
Cool.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna do an Arcana check.
Okay.
See if it's a trap.
Okay.
14,
You don't.
Don't forget you have advantage.
21.
So there's nothing inherently magical about this. piece
Cool.
of
Can
paper.
I, in theory, use that same roll to know what this means, or to identify it?
The iconography. So you don't have a great idea of it. You just know that it's just awfully offensive.
Wonderful. Cool. And then I'll
Okay.
grab it and hand it to Dopey.
Make a dexterity save. I'm just kidding. Anyway.
I was ready, dude. I was ready.
All right, so you grab it and you guys head over to Vincent Trench's place.
Yeah, this guy drew dick butt on our bar, dude.
Yes.
Yeah, that's basically what it is. It's a cosmic dick butt. The laugh
So we
makes it
show it to
better.
him, and we're like, hey, we put up these flyers. We're having a grand opening like tomorrow, day after, what have you. And somebody was drawing this shit all over our flyers. Don't know if you'd seen it yet. We figured you should see it.
Right, that makes sense. I should look at this. And he takes a look at your graffiti-strewn
Cosmic dick butt.
cosmic dick butt. And it's like, well, I've been meaning to stop by and talk to you about something. What have you heard of the Shard Runners?
Should we do a
Can I investigation check?
Let's do
History?
intelligence checks.
do what checks?
Intelligence checks.
Would I know what they are from the book that I bought about Waterdeep?
No.
Dang it.
9.
4.
18.
So,
So you didn't even need the book.
Kaz, excuse me. Hold on. It's water time, boys.
Oh yeah, big old sip.
Yeah, it's all melted
From
ice
the
at this point,
mimic.
so it's just like magnifique. Anyway, so he goes into a short description. You guys kind of have heard the name, but you don't know too much about it. But as he goes into his description, Mike, you begin to realize that there's some correlations here. The Shard Runners are a group of halfling gangsters, and they're loosely affiliated with the Xanathar Guild.
Wouldn't Nick start to put 2 and 2 together too?
That's why, yeah, that's why the intelligence check. That's what I'm saying. He's connecting the dots.
Oh, you were telling Kaz specifically.
Yeah, you said Mike.
So I assumed it was a
Oh, I
DC
meant-
17,
I meant
so
to
I was
say
just like
Nick.
hanging.
I meant to say Nick. So.
Word.
Yep.
Hey, I can do basic math.
Just sitting there, like, as
What
a
is
beautiful
that?
mind.
Yeah,
It's like,
Okay. So that would sort of explain.
So
Some
he
things,
goes into
'cause
further
we have
detail,
stepped
and
on
it
some
seems
toes.
like one of the major revelations that he lets you guys know is that these halfling gangsters aren't your ordinary halfling gangsters. They're actually a group of halfling were-rats. And he doesn't have enough evidence to connect you
intrigue
to
intensified.
them to Emic Froon.
Are they
But
toaster-sized
he has-
were-rats?
No, were-rats are approximately
Like
the size
man-sized.
of the person changing into them
So
in hybrid form. You're bigger than a toaster, Dopey.
not by
So
much.
you know. You're bigger than a toaster.
Dopey is big scared.
He's got little dick energy today, so he's just like, I'm a toaster.
it's toaster
Put your
oven.
bread in me.
Yeah. Okay, so getting back on track. He says that he has followed some suspicious looking
Air fryer.
characters, specifically halflings, that he's kind of seen watching the tavern. And he followed them back to an area that you guys are familiar with. It's kind of like this halfling hangout near the Peabody's house. It's like a cafe, blah, blah, blah. And when they went inside, he stopped his following, but he has not seen any of them interacting with Emic Froon as of yet. But knowing that Dodagor has seen Emic Froon interact with halflings, he suspects that it's only a matter of time and a matter of waiting and watching before he finds the connection.
Good shit. Okay.
Okay?
Well, I mean, you have an eyewitness who is a reputable citizen and business owner in Waterdeep. I mean, that's a relatively pretty solid connection right there.
So far, you have evidence of some halflings watching, and then you have the accusation that a rival tavern owner has been associating with those halflings. So far, he tells you that you don't really have enough of a case to file any charges. You just sound like a jealous tavern owner that's trying to kind of edge out the competition.
Oh yeah, yeah. The competition stiff.
We're all about edging.
with piss beer.
And that being said, he tells you that he's going to continue his investigation. and that you guys should come back, or he'll stop by the tavern because he's seen a few signs. And you guys hand him one of your signs that's been painted up, and he holds on to it, and he will use that hopefully to further implicate these.
Yeah, it was really one of
shard
Gwendolyn's kids, just drawing dick butts.
Yeah, they do love dick butt. As you guys
Are they tall
leave-
enough?
They're my size, so
That's
no.
the joke. But as you guys leave, you see outside, across the way, Froon's Brews has a brand new sign saying half price beers, happy hour, cocktails, and every meal comes with a room for the night.
Well, they clearly don't have that many rooms, so there's gonna be like 6 people who get a room. Not even. It's a tiny little place.
Maybe- start doubling up.
Maybe you toss some bunk beds in there. You haven't gone inside, so you're not entirely sure.
He's got CIA underground
Hey.
tunnels.
Hey, Dopey,
Send it.
if I turn you invisible, you want to go in there and just fuck some shit up just because he
Fuck
can't
yes.
see you?
Yes. And I want
Alright.
to fuck with his sign too.
All right.
Yeah, he's gonna change it to like double price beers.
Go back over to our tavern
And no rooms.
kind of inside. I cast invisibility on Dopey.
Okay, so you guys all head back to the tavern, except for Kaz, who just stops.
Yeah, I'm keeping the gimp
Sorry,
outside
I
as
had-
guard.
And
I didn't zoom out enough.
You guys cast invisibility on Dopey.
Does anyone want to go with him? I can cast it on one more person.
I think Dodagor should come with me.
I'm happy to come with you, but I'm gonna be a lookout because
you
I'm
might-
not nearly as stealthy as you. I might not be able to be seen, but my God, am I
Okay.
They would
loud?
hear you clomping around.
Okay. Invisibility on Dodagor also.
Yeah, they'd hear the jingle.
So-
of my pimp cape.
Just to remind everybody about how invisibility works, right? So
Sorry.
you and everything you have on you is invisible as long as it's on you. And the spell ends if you attack or cast a spell.
Yep.
So, like, you can draw, you can move stuff, but if you pants someone, for example, the spell will break.
What about if I
Knock things off of shelves and stuff.
or
As
saw
long as you're
through
not
some
throwing
chair
them
legs?
at someone, that's okay. But keep in mind that if you're doing stuff like that, people are going to start looking for you. And if they suspect a poltergeist, they might start attacking. There's all kinds of different actions there.
So before we head out, how long does this invisibility last?
You have an hour.
Dope. Okay. We should probably get a hurry on there, Dodagor.
Yep,
So you guys are both invisible?
Yes.
correct.
All right, roll stealth checks for me.
Oh God.
12.
Add 20 as a modifier. So
32.
32.
24. No, it's... And then 20. Okay. So you guys are headed over to Froon's Brews, correct?
Yes.
So how do you plan to get inside?
Well, first of all, before we go in, I'm going to climb up on Dodagor's shoulders and start messing with the dude's side.
Okay, what do you do?
So I'm going to change it from half price to double price.
Why not free?
You know what? That probably makes more sense. Free drinks,
Free food.
free food,
Okay.
rooms at double cost.
Okay. Then what?
Then we're going to, since it's one of those saloon swingy doors, I'm just going to duck underneath them and go inside.
Okay. Dodagor?
I'm hanging out outside. I said I would watch.
Okay. So, Dopey, you get inside, and I want you to make a perception check for me.
Perception. 8.
Okay.
God.
It is a ghost town. There is not a single patron inside this bar, and the space is cramped. The space is dirty, and in general, it's just not comfortable. It's not a welcoming space, and you get the sense that it's not doing so well.
Good.
Okay.
So I'm going to go up to the nearest chair and saw about 7/8 of the way through one of the legs so that whenever anybody sits in it, it's immediately going to break and they're going to hit the ground.
You have a
Okay.
saw on you?
I was about to say,
I
do you
have-
a saw?
2 daggers.
That would be an attack.
Yeah.
You
You
would
can't
technically have
saw
to
with a
attack the chair.
dagger.
Yes, you can.
Not
me check
really.
No,
my
you
book.
can chip away at it, but you're gonna have to swing,
Yeah.
and that's an attack.
That will be tougher to do.
It'd
I
be a
do have-
shame to waste the surprise round on a chair.
I do have Tinker's tools.
Tinker's tools. Let's take a look.
And Thieves' tools. So there should be a saw
I
in
mean, we
one of
could
those.
say that there
Kind
was
of
like
rig it
saw
as a
wire,
trap.
but
You could kind of rig it as a trap, and like with thieves' tools ish.
Yeah, I'll let you have a saw on your Tinker's or your Thieves' tool. So you managed to saw partially through numerous chair legs. What else would you like to do?
that's gonna chew up a lot of time. By the way, just so
Yep.
we're clear.
We're gonna say you do every chair.
No.
How
I
many
do,
chairs
like-
do we do?
1 chair at each table.
Okay, there's about 4 tables. We're gonna say that it takes you about a minute to do each. Let's say 5 minutes to do each, and you have about 40 minutes of 5. So
Say 35?
minutes. 35
Yeah.
minutes of invisibility remaining.
All right. Let's see, what else do I want to do? What do I have that's not going to consider string? Okay, so I'm going to take some of my string and I'm going to like rig up a trip hazard between like coming out from behind the bar to like go out into the area. Like if you're bringing out food, I'm going to rig up like a little trip hazard there.
Okay.
And I'm going to run outside and talk to Dodagor, tell him everything I just did, see if he has any other ideas.
Okay.
Upon hearing the information that the place looks like a dump, but I've seen this dude hand people coin involving like other stuff, I would just like to. I would probably say it sounds like a front.
So we should probably check and see if they're like there's hidden safes or whatever.
Yeah, absolutely. You should
Alright.
definitely go do that.
So I'm gonna go in and investigate, see if I can find any hidden stuff.
Okay. Go ahead and roll an investigation check.
18.
Behind the bar, underneath the cash register, you find a safe.
Okay, I'm gonna try and pick open the safe.
Go ahead and use your tools to make a check.
I
Side note: is there any background noise for anybody else? I just turned the fan on in here.
When you're talking,
No.
I can kind of hear a little something, but it's not a big deal.
would that be what, sleight of hand?
I have to look. I think you get your proficiency bonus from using your tools. So whatever your proficiency bonus is.
So just be add that onto my dex.
Let's see, actions in combat.
Yeah, I think it would just be a dex check, wouldn't it, at that point?
Dex plus proficiency.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Let me see. Yeah, let's just call it that.
15.
So you swing the tumbler back and forth for a little bit, and you keep your ear kind of close. So far, you don't hear anybody inside the tavern. There's some rustling in the kitchen, which is kind of behind the wall of the bar. You hear like a little clink, and a clink, and a clunk. And the safe doesn't open this time, but you can make another check. You know 2 out of the 3 numbers to open this safe.
9.
Okay, so you do the same 2 numbers again. You hear the same click, click, clunk. You wanna do it
How
again?
long are we saying these attempts are?
Yeah,
Two
how,
minutes?
Each of these is about 5 minutes.
Okay.
so we got about what, 20 minutes left ish?
If
Like
that's if
15.
you want to go visible inside of his tavern, yes. Take about a minute for you to kind of get your shit together and walk out.
Yeah, I'm gonna try it one more time. If I can't get it this time, we're gonna bounce. 13.
13 will do it. You figure out the last number in the safe. Ka-chung! Slowly open. Make a stealth check.
20.
Nice.
Nice. Okay. Do you look in the safe and see what's in there?
Absolutely.
There are 2 large brown sacks.
I open one of the sacks and look inside.
It is filled with golden dragons,
I open the other sack and look inside.
filled with silver.
Take that shit.
Would I be able to tell how heavy they are?
So taking a quick look, it's about 200 dragons and about 100 dragons worth of silver in the other bag. So all in all, it's about 30 pounds of coin.
So I would be able to carry that fairly easily.
You should be able to.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and pull both of them out,
Okay.
shut the safe,
Okay.
spin the tumbler, and get out of there with the money.
Okay. Go ahead and make another stealth check for me.
14.
So you nimbly kind of go across the trap that you'd laid in front of the kitchen to trip people up, because that's kind of where the bar leads to the
Mhm.
kitchen, right? And as you are leaving, Emic Froon comes out. He's got this big platter of what looks like free samples to kind of give out to people. And as he is walking towards the door, you see him just eat absolute shit onto the ground. The hors d'oeuvres, the free samples just fly into the air, and he just hits the ground and
Try and steal a snack
lays
on the way out.
there somewhat stunned for a moment.
I'm just going to...
Do you laugh?
No.
Make a
Laugh and
check.
poltergeist.
No, I'm just kidding. Make a laugh check. Let's see if you do it. Anyway, okay.
Yes, it is laugh.
Charisma?
Do you make good your escape?
Yes.
Okay. So you managed to escape with about 300 gold.
I for
I'll
sure
go
see
ahead
him
and
coming out of
add
there
that
with
to my
that.
inventory.
I mean, it's 2 floating bags of money.
Yep. The money is not invisible.
I'm going to split it down the middle with that, Agor.
I'm gonna swiftly run back to the bar. You figure out how to get those floating
Both of
bags of
you
coin.
Wait, would they
make
not?
stealth
Would they not
checks.
turn invisible? Because it says anything the target is wearing or carrying is invisible as long as it is on the target's person.
I think that's at the time of casting, isn't it?
I don't know. It doesn't disseminate that. It just says anything the target is wearing or carrying is invisible as long as it's on the target's person.
Yeah, we'll say they're invisible. That's fine.
Word.
Cool.
So you guys make it back to the tavern, and you're
I
laughing
run
the
straight
entire
up to my
time.
room, still invisible as a motherfucker.
Okay. You don't have any bags of gold at this point.
Oh,
You just
well,
got-
he just said he handed me one.
You said you ran off without taking any either of them.
Well, that's before we knew that they were invisible. Because if I just saw 2 bags floating out, I'd be like, "We gotta go."
Okay, so you've got the bag of silver. Dopey has the bag of dragons. How do you guys want to divvy that out?
I mean,
Uh,
do we hear them come in?
I mean, what are you doing right now?
if he
I'm
wants to
just
give
sitting
me
down at the
50
bar.
If he wants to give me 50 silver, I'll give him 100 dragons, and we'll split it straight down the middle.
Word.
So it would be about 100 silver, because there's 200 silver in there.
Yeah, so 100
All in
silver,
all,
100
it's
gold.
like
Yeah.
300 gold. So if you guys want to each split it so that you have 150 gold, that's fine. You guys
Yeah.
can just
So
do it.
since I was standing outside, how populated was the street?
You can actually see it if we go back to.
I know I saw a couple of other people, but like while that was going on, was there traffic?
There's always carts kind of going by. You can see people on the street. There was like this guy, for example, trying to sell wares right next to you guys. The butcher's kind of out and about. All these
Okay.
people are around. There's tons of people on the street.
Cool.
Okay.
Yep, I was just curious.
No, I understand. That's why I livened up the map a little bit. Okay, so we head back to the tavern. So we're gonna say that now that your tomfoolery at Froon's Brews is done, that we're gonna move on. Next morning is the grand opening, And we're going to just kind of fast forward through this a little bit, right? You guys hang a sign outside says lifts grand opening today. You've spread flyers over here and yon, and you take a look outside the door. And you guys plan to open breakfast, lunch? What time you guys are going to open?
Should
Um,
probably open around brunch time.
Brunch? Okay, so about 10.
Yeah.
Okay. So of course the flyers all had that on the like the informational portion of it.
I love
And
brunch.
you guys wake up. It's about 8:30, pushing 9, and the line is already down the street.
Hell yeah.
Turns
Hell
out
Oh.
yeah.
Maxine has been spreading the word, and
That's what I'm talking about.
more
Horse
than a little
people.
nervous, you find Gwendolyn in the kitchen already preparing and cooking and sweating and just running all over here and yon. She's even employed the boys kind of going back and forth, bringing her different ingredients and helping her in the kitchen. And they're doing their best to keep up and they're doing their best to help. And Margaret is also down there helping out, doing stuff. And all of them are very, very busy. And as soon as you guys come downstairs, Gwendolyn's barking orders at all of you guys. Like, you guys need to go organize the tables. You need to set the trays. Go get the centerpieces. Blah, blah, blah. And she is just a machine of managing this place.
Beautiful.
And it smells wonderful. Not only does it smell like excellent cooking inside this kitchen, there's like roasted potatoes and spit-fired beef roasting over the wrought iron stove, slowly turning with one of the boys kind of slowly cranking it very patiently. Um, but it turns out that the flowers and the trees and the shrubberies that the druid crafted into the very being of your tavern are just perfuming the air with sweet smells of spring. And you guys finally get to the point where you open your doors and you can't even let everybody in, but they pile in and they occupy every table, and it's busy, and you guys are working your butts off bringing food out for Gwendolyn. She's trying to mind the bar, but Kaz, you're playing music in the corner. Dopey, you're dodging people that are almost stepping on you every second of every moment the entire time this day.
Because I'm so small.
People go upstairs and they enjoy sitting by the fire, and they're smoking and playing Three Dragon Ante. All in all, evening approaches, gets to be about 8 or 9 o'clock at night, and you guys are exhausted. Just literally, you all have a level of exhaustion because you have worked so hard today. Before you finally say good evening around 9 o'clock to the last patrons, who happen to be Avi and Imbric from the Steam and Steel. And they bid you farewell, and they say that you guys have made it even better than it used to be. And as they leave, you see Liff kind of shut the door behind them and wave at them, and they just kind of stand there shocked for a moment and give like a little wave back, and
As you would.
they depart as well. And at that point, you see Liff kind of wandering about the tavern, and she's gathering up dirty dishes and glasses and pushing tables together and pushing chairs back to their places. And finally, she kind of walks over to the kitchen, and she's dropping all of the dirty dishes off at the scullery for Gwendolyn, who's staring stiffly, but Liff gives her a warm smile before gently dropping all of the dishes in the sink, and she disappears.
Real
Free
quick,
labor.
as she goes by us, thinking back, she was a half elf, yeah.
Correct.
While
Yeah,
she
she
just
birdie.
while she just goes by, kind of around us and everything in Elvish, I say thank you for all the help. On this day, Liv.
She gives you a curt nod, and when you think about it, now that she's materialized, things start making a bit more sense. Things that weren't quite as explained before, but like patrons had their chairs pulled out for them and shoved back in, and had their drinks refilled, all without you or Gwendolyn's help. And it turns out that Liff has stepped back into her barmaid role, seeing that the tavern has been restored to its former
Free labor.
That's cool as shit. That's
So, With that, you guys are gonna head to bed and sleep off your exhaustion. Gwendolyn, Margaret, the boys, they're spending the night too. You guys are all exhausted and you head to bed. You can expect tomorrow morning to be almost as good as today, if not better. So,
Yeah, sure. That's what I'm expecting.
I need.
Well, I'm sorry. I forgot to put the Gimp is now asleep.
Dopey,
How are we keeping track of like how much gold we're making each
I'm
day
literally
and
about
things
to
like
tell
that?
you.
Okay.
Dopey, I need you to roll me a D100 plus 10.
One.
51. Okay.
Sorry, I did not mean to do that.
So, you guys have covered the maintenance cost of operating the tavern for this entire 10 day, just in this one day alone.
Yeet.
Yes.
So, with that, you guys go to sleep. The next morning comes around. You're all quietly asleep in your bed. Roll initiative for me.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
14.
Okay.
17.
Okay.
18.
My Gimp is still asleep.
Okay. Wes and looks like Nick
Mike.
and Kaz are all the first to wake up. Wait. Oh, the Gimp is still asleep. Got it.
Yeah, the Gimp is
Dopey,
asleep.
You're still asleep as well. What do you guys want?
Fair.
I head downstairs and give Eugene his normal morning pet, and then I walk over to the bar. And good night last night, gentlemen, or good day, not even night.
Both.
Yeah, that was dope.
That was great.
It's pretty dope. E.
But
All right.
you're
Settle
not here.
down, chicken nugget.
I had to.
Okay.
Are the I mean, I'm looking around, I'm kind of listening. Are the boys and Gwendolyn and Margaret there yet? Or are they awake yet? Sorry, they stayed the night. Are they awake?
The boys are still asleep, so they're back up in their rooms still. So is Margaret. But Gwendolyn is an early riser, as you guys all know, and she's
Yeah,
in the
she
kitchen
is.
making some breakfast.
Okay.
She greets you all warmly from the doorway. She says, "Hello, boys. Hello."
Good morning.
Morning.
I love how she's 19 and calling us boys.
She's still right.
We're just slightly bigger children, except you.
So you guys kind of sitting around the bar. Gwendolyn walks out and hands you guys some simple breakfast. It's just, again, her simple porridge recipe. Hopefully it doesn't taste like shit today.
Fingers crossed, right?
I'm side-eyeing Kaz.
Hang on, let me roll a d6.
He's watching
and
his
we'll-
hands.
You guys are busily eating your porridge when suddenly you hear something.
What do I hear? Oh
Oh
shit!
dear.
And what sounds like a explosion occurs outside.
Oh, holy shit. Look,
Would that
guys,
wake
I was-
everybody who's still asleep up?
Yes. Those of you that were still asleep aren't sure what woke you up, but the literal building is still shaking.
I'm
summoned
going
my Gimp.
to invisibility on myself.
I was kidding about the arson plan, guys. Like, we didn't really need to go.
Dopey runs to the window of his room and looks out.
So you
Holy
guys
shit.
look out, and you see that the nearby buildings are all aflame, and there's a massive crater in the middle of the street. And surrounding that crater are several inert bodies.
I cast True Resurrection on all of them.
Yeah, go
I
for it.
sprint
You're
out to
okay.
run out and see what the fuck's going on. Where's my
Same.
gimp? There it is.
Dopey runs out as well.
Yep. Again, invisibility on myself first, and then running out.
Okay. So I need everybody to. So you're invisible.
Yep.
Okay. So you see buildings on fire and several people either dead or unconscious in front of you.
I'm going around to each. Well, invisibility wasn't done much. I'm making my way around like the outside of stuff, kind of like still running, being the fact that I'm invisible, trying to look for any sort of culprit. Anybody that's kind of like watching on and kind of like I guess
Well,
cheering
I
it
assure
on,
you
kind of.
all of the neighborhood is staring and watching at this point.
Yeah, so as you guys kind of make your way, you're not alone. Many people from throughout the Troll Skull Alley area start making their way towards the scene.
Dopey's gonna start checking the inert bodies to see if they're alive or if they're just unconscious or dead.
So how many do
That
you
one.
check?
As many as I can.
So
Same here.
You check every body combined with Dodagor, and all in all, 11 people are dead.
Jesus.
Holy shit.
That's all.
Question becomes, should I start looting the bodies?
You piece of shit.
There's a considerable crowd here, but there's nothing stopping you.
Yeah, I'm not going to.
Are there
I'll put it
anything
in
like
July.
noticeable on the
Cause July.
bodies? Are these like people that I would recognize from seeing them on the street all the time while
Okay,
we've been
you
here
guys-
for the last 2
Dopey
weeks,
and
or
Dodagor, go
are
ahead and
these
roll.
like new people? Is there armor on them?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Dopey and Dodagor, go ahead and roll investigation.
Plus 1. 18.
Okay.
14 and a 12.
Okay. So you find one elderly human female, 2 cloaked male humans, both of them clad in leather armor with sheathed long swords, 2 female humans and 1 male half-elf dressed in plain clothes. You find 1 male gnome who's wearing a burnt cloak and clutching a dagger, and finally 2 female halflings who are playing a flute and a fiddle, and 2 male halflings who are dancing. They're all among the dead.
So
The,
the male
armor.
gnome with the burnt thing is dead?
Correct.
Okay.
Can I search the gnome?
Sure.
Cool. I'm not taking anything. I just want to see what he has.
So go ahead and roll a persuasion check.
Yeah. So
Persuasion or?
you look like you're trying to identify him. Not.
Oh yeah, okay.
You look like you're robbing a dead body right now, so you need to
Oh,
increase
let's
those
not
levels.
do that.
Okay.
Or I'm rolling it. I'm trying to not look like I'm. Oh shit.
11.
So you kind of look like you're looting a dead body
Cool.
to these folks.
This is why I didn't do that.
Well.
The armor on the leather guys, would I have recognized it having run into a few assholes before?
A closer look at them.
I do.
So when you get a little closer and you're kind of checking them out a little bit, no touchy, obviously, you see a symbol that you've seen before. You see a winged snake, signifying the Zentarum.
And then there are 4 halfling bodies.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'm gonna go around to all of the. I'm gonna use all 4 first level spell slots, and I'm gonna create water on some of like the,
Like here.
some of the, not necessarily the bigger fires, but some of what I could control. I can make up to 40 gallons of water in a 30-foot cube.
So as you do that, the flame disappears. Now the other buildings surrounding here are still on fire.
Yeah. So would it take all 40 gallons to take care of this one, or would that be like 20 gallons, and then I could do
Probably.
20 gallons on here and here?
You've taken care of this.
Okay. All right. Well, that's all 4th level spells. Can I can use. I'm going to utilize my second level slot, which extends it to 20 more gallons of water on over here.
Okay. So as you put more and more water on there, you see it dissipating the flames there as well. All that's remaining there essentially is charred roof, charred timber.
Oh, I've done everything I can do.
Okay.
Having seen the armored guys, I'm gonna go take a closer look once again, not searching the bodies at the halflings to see if they have anything in common with each other, sort of being part of the halfling gang, or anything that I can.
Okay.
And now that the fire's out in this whole thing, Dobie's gonna walk up to it and look down into it.
You see a crater. So you take a closer look at the halflings. You see that 2 of them are female, and one has a fiddle in their hand, and the other has a flute. And then the other 2 male halflings don't appear to be holding anything.
Okay.
When you described him earlier, I could have swore you said half elf.
There is a half elf in the
Yeah, there's a body
among the bodies, but not. Those are halflings there.
Can
Yeah.
I look around the area to see if I can find anything out of place that might have caused this?
The crater definitely wasn't there before.
Go ahead and make an
That's what I'm
Arcana
saying.
check.
Make a what?
An Arcana check. Anybody that's proficient.
Cool.
Dotagor?
+2.
God.
So, Shul and Dotagor and Kaz.
Yeah, I only roll Shul if
Nat 20.
if I don't.
And
personally
Cad's got a
get it, I
nat
guess.
20.
So,
Nice.
You are all able to recognize this as the devastation left behind by a fireball spell.
A very high level fireball spell.
Indeed.
Guys, it's the Illithid.
We should probably contact the Blackstaff.
Perhaps, but we'll have to do it next time because it's 10 o'clock, and that's
All
where we'll
right.
leave it. So we're gonna call it here. You guys are in the midst of kind of investigating the immediate aftermath. Now, the things that you might want to keep in mind for future and what we might do as part of some mini RPs is perhaps you guys interviewing witnesses or talking to people, or maybe the City Watch arrives, you interact with them, but they are on the way, most assuredly.
Oh, of course.
So, you have a limited time before they get there to do any sort of investigation on your own without them kind of interfering. Just keep that in mind. Hey guys, it's me, Naked, and on behalf of the crew, I just wanted to say thank you very much for watching. If you liked it, please consider hitting the like button, and if you want to see more D&D tomfoolery, please feel free to subscribe, as more videos are on the way. You can also catch us live every Saturday night at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on twitch.tv/nakedshamus. Just follow the link below. Thanks again for watching. Farewell for now.